Welcome. This is the RunDown, only on a2dradio.com, live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios. BMW, we're up exit 37 of the Parkway. Find them online, BMW of Atlantic City.com. Tom Arnone, Ralph Delvecchio, Zach Burr, Frank Vespi on the ones and twos. College football is back. We're excited about it. We got a little Alabama FSU tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. A little college game day out there. It's going to be exciting. But we'll get in a little college football later on in the show. But heavy Eagles today and tons of Eagles to talk about.
Not?
All right, we'll talk about the starters not playing Thursday. You know, I noticed that you put in here, are you concerned about lack of reps? I'm going to answer that one real quick, and you guys can answer it later on in the show. But no, because we've seen when we used to complain about, Bradford, we need Bradford to get reps, and they slung it all around in Green Bay, and we had 16-0, and we were walking down Broad. We saw how that worked out for us. So, no, I'm not worried about the reps. I'm worried about health, and I'm worried about starting the season as healthy as we can be as a football team. Bold predictions, and some really, really heavy bold predictions here. And we'll discuss the Eagles' playoff hopes and the importance of a strong start, essentially like they had last year until the Lane Johnson issue. Right. Guys like Ron Brooks going down and other things like that. If you want to make a playoff run. But our poll question brought to you by Scanzano Sports. Find them on the web, scanzanosports.com. Which of these bold Eagles predictions do you like the best? Alshon leads the league in receiving. Carson wins MVP. Number one defense in the NFL. Best record in the NFC. Let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. A2D Radio is where you can find us. And this is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, our certified public accountant. Make them yours. Find them on the web, gibsonmayer.com. Mr. Burr?
Yes.
Mr. Delvecchio? What's your big – I mean, I noticed you put it in – you made that a little bold too.
Yes.
You're bold. Your bold was bold.
Yes.
And these are aggressively bold predictions, but that's fine.
Be bold. I mean, you might as well be bold, right? Let's not pussyfoot around the subject.
You become a fan. You know, the whole purpose of being a fan is to be able to dream a little bit.
Right.
I mean, lay the head down, have good dreams. So these are good dreams. Absolutely. Which one of these good dreams do you most likely see happening, if at all any?
Well, I think Alshon realistically leading the league in receiving is not too far-fetched. Especially if he becomes the go-to guy rather quickly, which I think he will. Carson winning MVP. I mean, I think all Eagles fans at the moment, we go to sleep at night.
God,
we lay our head down on our pillow dreaming about Carson and future MVPs and things like that. I mean, if you told us he would win MVP awards in the future.
Listen, Daddy, what you do with Carson.
We'd probably have wet dreams.
What you do with Carson in your bed is between you and Carson.
Yeah. Okay.
we don't even know.
Understood.
So which one you look at? You looking at Alshon then as the one you see that
I think that's the most realistic. The one I like the best personally is the Carson Wentz's MVP. That at the moment, that's the one that gets me most excited. If you had to ask me to pick one of the four that would get me most excited as a prediction that comes true, I would say it's the Carson Wentz MVP.
Carson MVP, Ralphie?
I think the number one defense. I think this defense could be number one. I mean, I've been saying it for a long time now. If your front seven is the best, it makes your secondary look very, very good.
And if you got
makes everything look good.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean,
I mean, our secondary is a little weak, so hopefully that front seven can help us out a lot by getting to the quarterback a lot faster and get some pressure. And maybe Schwartz can finally start blitzing a lot.
But that secondary is not far away from looking like it could be pretty good too. I mean, Sidney Jones comes back next year at full health. Darby's there. Russell Douglas. I mean, all of a sudden, the secondary kind of becomes a strength of this team. Yeah, Mills is your fourth corner, realistically. Could be next year.
Yeah, you're going to start looking at the safety position, probably as early as next year and start saying, Malcolm getting a little longer in the tooth. You look there. I saw like McLeod's still a younger guy for the most part. But, I mean, that's going to be – you're going to be looking back at the back end and being like, well –
you're going to look for one of these Jabril Prepper.
This is an area we would need to address
Yeah.
probably going in next year. Some guys chiming in on the Facebook. Kenyon Moore, best record in the NFC, of course. Kevin Van Sciver, I'd love to see the Birds have the best defense. Defense wins championships.
That's a great point.
And Chris Kelly, Alshon leads the league in receiving. So just a few people chiming in over on the book on what they feel like their bold predictions could be. Frankie?
And over on YouTube, Sixers JT says, number one defense in the NFC is the most realistic. We have the best front seven in the league and amazing safeties. We just need better CBs, and we are the best in the league.
You always knew the big dog knew more than the small dog.
That's
The big dog always eats a little more than the puppy.
Number one defense in the NFL. I mean, I don't know, but number one defense in the NFL would be, I mean, now we're talking that's big time territory at the moment to be better than Seahawks defenses and defenses like that.
Of course.
Currently, around football. But it's the quarterback play that's the one thing that would just make me say, at the moment, it's probably not realistic to say we could be the best defense in football.
The corners, right?
The corners, right. But we're not far off. I mean, this is a realistically top 5 defense in football if they play the best they possibly can throughout the year.
You took the words right out of my mouth because year after year, I mean, at least the last 2 or 3 years, you've looked at this front seven and, Pro Football Focus and other national publications have always put this front seven as a top 5 in the NFL. Now, over the last 2 years, they've not lived up to that. No. Not one bit. And I speak for myself, who has put them as a top 5 front seven, or they should be. And that all goes to number 91. I look him right in the eyes and I say, listen, you're the highest paid player on this defense. You're the highest paid player on this football team. Act like it.
Well, that's why I get the wrong way that he didn't show up.
And I love Fletcher. I'm a Fletcher guy. Let me clarify that for the people. But I'm also a guy that when you're the highest paid player, I don't care if you're getting double team, triple team. Sapp used to get doubled and tripled. Some of the best D tackles in all the game used to get doubled and tripled. They still find their way to get home. Okay, and you got help around you. Timmy Jernigan, really good pass rusher. I like that addition. You know what Brandon Graham brings to the table.
Barnett's going to be a huge addition.
And Derek Barnett, who I've said with Tom and Mike, and I said on agree disagree, savage. He's a savage pass rush.
Do we feel better about that pick now, Tommy?
No, I'm never going to feel better because I see Reuben Foster.
Reuben Foster is still killing it.
I mean, that's a grown-up.
Did you see that hit the other night?
Yup, and I knew you were looking at it.
Oh, my goodness.
Now you see why John Lynch loves him. John Lynch is probably like, this reminds me of my playing days with some guys I used to play with.
Yeah, a little Derek Brooks, even though he wasn't really on the inside. And obviously reminds me a little bit of, his physicalness reminds me a lot of Ray.
Yeah,
Ray Lewis. His physicalness,
He's
what
got
he brings.
quick feet, too,
that killer instinct.
Sideline to sideline, too.
How's that injury holding up, right?
Yeah,
that everybody was the reason he dropped in the draft.
Fell 31 spots. Everybody else they kind of looked too much into that injury, huh?
Yeah.
That injury report that came out.
I'll take it to my grave, man. I'll still take Foster over Barnett any day of the week.
Oh, me too. And from what I've seen of Derek Barnett, he's a flat-out stud. I mean, looks like he really –
if you think
I feel much better about the pick now that I think Barnett's going to be a good player.
Well, if you think about it now, look at our middle linebackers are very thin. Very thin.
Yeah, once you get outside of Jordan Hicks, there's not a lot there at linebacker.
So if Jordan Hicks goes down, we're kind of
You better
screwed.
hope Michael Kendrick steps up and actually
then you're going Joe Walker.
Joe Walker.
Oh, Jesus.
And I know some of the fans around the city will try to crown Joe Walker in some fashion, but he's not good enough to start as your middle linebacker
got an average
in the
Joe
National
name.
Football League.
He can't. He must just be an average Joe type of player. Got an average Joe name, and that's you talk about names. You like good names. That's
my
not a
fault.
good name.
My fault. Everybody. We got the Red Mamba over here today.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
All right, Jarrell K asking if that is Kobe's original jersey. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
off the Mamba's back.
Oh, yeah, right off. Yeah.
Right off the Mamba's back.
Went to Lower Marion. He gave it to me. I said, thanks, Kobe.
He put it in Ralph's hand.
Grandma
He said,
Delavecchio
don't ever wash his hand, and you always have a great jumper.
She was at Lower Marion back in the day checking out Kobe, right? And
I actually, a couple of my buddies' dads played against him in high school.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Based on the stories I've heard about your grandma and how she's like a Philly sports nut, I wouldn't be surprised if she went and saw Kobe back in the day.
She still watches to the Phillies show.
I know his grandma is the most loyal Philly sports fan I've ever seen.
Loyal. Kenyon Moore. I feel the best record shows us being well-balanced. Bob Hartman, Carson wins MVP is the best one for me. All about Carson right now.
That's the league at this point. It's all about your quarterback and how good your quarterback is. I mean, that's the NFL right now.
Joe Milano. Cornerback is extremely weak from what I've seen in the preseason. The front seven is by far the best group of players on our team. It's going to be very important. Hopefully Barnett pays off and Graham can be excellent. Now, and that's what we just touched upon.
Yep.
And you talk about Vinny Curry, and first off, getting paid way too much money, has never lived up to his end of the bargain in terms of his contract. And I don't really get into what guys get paid. I get into production. His production just hasn't been there, not consistent enough. Listen, if Howie Roseman starts opening day and going through this roster and decides Vinny Curry's starting over Derek Barnett, you should just go walk out to NovaCare and jump off the nearest bridge, Howie, because you drafted a guy. You drafted a guy top 15. He has to play for you.
He has to start.
He has to start for you.
Has to start.
Yeah,
I know they're going to rotate out, and guys are going to get plenty of breaks and breathers
regardless.
and
That
all that.
happens on your defensive line regardless.
And in the rotation with Vinny Curry.
Right.
If you draft a guy top 15,
and Jernigan and Chris
he
Long.
has to play.
Right.
Has to play top 15,
That's
top 20.
that's the league now. I mean,
Because
guys,
you weren't a good enough football team to act any differently.
Yeah.
You're not good enough to put your nose up and say, well, them gold standard days, as Jeffrey Lee used to like to talk about, even though they never were gold standard, more bronze-ish, right? Them days are long ago. So you can't walk around with your nose up because of how much money your organization makes or any other reason. You got to do what's best for your football team. What's best for your football team is you see Barnett can go get the quarterback.
Absolutely.
So that's going to be big. Jarrell K saying, Tom, I'm in Vegas right now. Took the Sixers over 42.5. Best bet of your life, Jarrell. I mean, write it down.
I like it.
Actually, get a room for another month because you'll be able to pay for it because that's a win.
45 wins.
That's a win.
That'd be my over-under number, 45. 42.5, that's low.
How about this one? You guys like this one, talking a little college football later. Jarrell also says, I also took Stanford 60-1 and the U 50-1 to win the college football championship. Why not?
The U.
Why
The
not?
U.
Yeah.
Took the U at 50-1.
Wow.
Listen,
Take a shot.
I love the
Yeah.
U.
I'm a big U guy.
My aunt's a graduate of the University of Miami. Spent a lot of time down there teaching at a high school in the area. So growing up, like that had to be like my football team in college because she didn't give me a choice.
Yeah.
If I was in the college football, that had to be the team I watched. So, I mean, I'm all for seeing the U go back to prominence. I mean, I think that's good for college football if they return to prominence.
Oh, I completely agree with you. I'm a U guy outside of Shapiro.
Right.
Yeah, I'm on
Nevin.
the-
You guys know Nev?
Yeah,
Nev.
Nev, yeah.
Remember Nevin?
The biggest
I
tool
remember
bag
Nev.
ever, right? I mean,
Yeah, like that guy's just like
you want to punch that guy in the face.
guys on jet skis with
Yeah.
who was the linebacker?
Jonathan Vilma.
Jonathan Vilma's
Jonathan
mom,
Vilma.
like jet skiing around. Like, what is Nevin? Like Nevin
Nevin
Shapiro
Shapiro.
was like everywhere on
He's
yachts
the
and
definition.
everywhere with these
He's
players'
that
mothers.
definition of that wannabe fan, but he had enough money. Like he's a wannabe athlete. He wanted to live that lifestyle, be the college athlete at all the college parties. Never could ever have that lifestyle growing
Yeah,
up
you
at
know what
that
he's
age.
doing
Wasn't
now?
good enough.
You know what he's doing
And
now?
he's in jail or
Well, he's
whatever.
hoping the soap don't
Well,
fall.
there you go, exactly.
Fall too far
But-
from the hands. You know
but
what I mean?
he's an
now he's
example-
hoping he can. He learned a little something at the U that he can catch a football.
He's an
catch a soap.
example of what money can do for you, right? Complete wannabe,
Yeah.
sports, athlete, fan, whatever, has enough money where he inserts himself into that environment. Just completely tool-baggy thing to do. I mean, he deserves to rot in jail for the rest of his fucking life at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
Ruined
with
a lot of college kids' lives.
No, he
in the
did.
process,
He did.
too.
And he did. Now, I still haven't answered which one I would go with my bold prediction here. I don't think Carson winning MVP is realistic
Not yet.
in year
Yeah,
two,
not
as
yet.
much as I love him, and I think he's going to take big steps forward this year. I just don't see that being realistic with the GOAT still being around, Rodgers still being around,
Yeah.
Big Ben,
Does that one get you most
Breeze.
excited?
I mean, there's so much still around that it's hard to overtake them, especially the way the league votes for these things.
Yeah.
And body of work matters a lot of times, unless you just come out and throw 45 and you throw 5,000 yards and you're just
Like what-
that good
Like what
where
Matt
it doesn't
Ryan
matter.
did last year. So.
Well, and Matt Ryan, I mean, he's even, he's a veteran now. In the
No,
league.
Matt
He's-
Ryan's another example.
He's developed a reputation over the years now to finally get to this point.
I think Alshon's a realistic one in terms of leading the league in
Yeah, I think
receiving.
the Alshon one is the most realistic one up there.
Still tough.
which
I
one
would
gets you
go with
most
the defense,
excited?
though. I would go with the defense as my pick as
As
the
the
most
most realistic?
one because I could see that happening
If they
because
overachieved a little bit.
because
it's
you
not
have
too much of a
legitimate,
stretch.
really good talent. I mean, we talk about what's on your D line. You talk about your middle linebacker Jordan Hicks, who's a really good football player. If Michael Kendrick stays on the football field, he's looked good this preseason so far. And their secondary is definitely improved. So I could see that
You
being
can
an
actually
area.
blitz him this year, which he's really good at
finally.
blitzing. Kendricks
Yeah.
is a great blitzer, and Schwartz finally has a secondary where he can blitz a little bit more because of guys like Darby.
Still not his MO though.
It's not his
You know,
MO,
and
never
that's what
has
you have
been.
to keep in mind. It's
But he
still
didn't
not his
blitz at
thing.
all last year, but he couldn't because couldn't go man-to-man on the outside.
I don't blame him. Like if I looked at Leotis McKelvin and
Right.
Nolan Carroll and
No,
I said,
absolutely.
I gotta bring the house with these two jabrones back here.
Yeah, they
nah,
can't
we're
play
gonna
man-to-man.
go with 4, and if 4 don't get it, it don't matter anyway because they ain't covering.
Yeah.
Best record in the NFC. Not unrealistic. Essentially, I could see. I could see.
It'll
them.
be tough.
Both
though.
sides of the
That's
ball would
tougher.
have
It'll
to
be
play
tough.
up to their absolute potential.
That's
if you think-
tougher. So I'll go number 1.
If you were
D.
if you were the AFC, I would say that's most realistic because the AFC is very weak.
Now, taking which one's realistic out of it, which one just gets you most excited? Like, which one of those bold predictions would make you most excited as an Eagles fan?
Oh, best record.
The best record?
Oh yeah, that jazzes me up.
That's right away. You're just like, all right, here we like it's everything you need as an Eagles fan to finally get back to that level of excitement that we had when we felt like we were contenders on a yearly basis.
Yeah, that's what it is. And, with year 2, your quarterback, if you're best team, if you have the best record in the
Yeah.
NFC, I mean, you got to be excited about the way things are going, right?
Yeah, it means
And
you're
then
moving
if
in the
he-
right
If
direction.
he got the best record in the NFC, that means he's got to get MVP.
Well, that's what I see. Yeah, I mean, him winning the MVP would get me most excited, kind of for the same reasons you're talking about. It makes you feel like you're moving in the right direction.
Go a little hand in hand.
If your quarterback became the best player in the league all of a sudden in year 2, yeah, this is moving in the right direction, awfully quick here now. But to the point, I can't remember who it was that made the point about the number one defense. We saw it last year again, a number one offense matching up against the number one defense in the Super Bowl. More times than not, it's only been, I think, one time in the last however many matchups that's happened in the Super Bowl. It's usually the number one defense that gives you the better chance of winning the Super Bowl than it is the number one offense.
Yeah, you saw it with the Broncos and the Panthers.
Broncos Seahawks at one point. Yeah. Panthers Broncos.
Yep.
Last year, obviously, the Falcons Patriots. I can't remember the example. There's only one time where the number one offense beat the number one defense. Other than that, it's always been the number one defense that comes out on top. So that's something that when you think about it, like a little bit more second level thinking, number one defense should get you really excited because that makes you think, okay, now we're a championship football team right away.
It makes you closer, quicker. Yeah, no question.
You have a top 5 offense, but you got a number one defense in football. Yeah. You're a championship contender.
Yeah, you are. A few more coming through here on Facebook. Jarrell again. He's in Vegas. Personal question for Tom. Going to the pool today. Do I let the stomach hang out or do I wear a tank top? You're in Vegas.
Feeling confident? Yeah.
You're in Vegas. You let it all hang out because the women aren't shy to let it hang out, big, small, or indifferent. Yeah, so for us guys, let it rip. Let it rip. Let the whole bell hang out. Go play a little poker in the pool, a little blackjack. Learn from myself. I lost a quick 100 in about 22 minutes.
What, playing blackjack?
Blackjack in the pool, which is the worst decision in the world. Because now you're relaxed.
Yeah.
You're talking a lot. You're not paying attention to cards. And you can lose money quick.
I don't like blackjack. They fix it.
Oh, yeah, they do.
But
you can lose money quick.
I'd rather play poker. At least there's a little bit of skill involved.
They fix the Mayweather fight.
Lateef Gray. If our secondary steps up, we'll be scary this year.
Yeah.
Agreed. Joe Milano. Your thoughts on Torrey Smith? I feel like the Eagles need him to step up in order for Alshon to see less coverage and keep the defense honest. If Smith doesn't produce, the Eagles will have a hard time, especially with their running game struggling. I don't think you have to look at Torrey. Torrey's going to be a professional, right. and he's going to bring enough to the table. But I think you need to look into the slot, and that's the guy you need to look at. And you need to look at Nelson because I think he's going to wear out slot guys. I just think he is. He should.
Right.
His
all
route running.
He should wear them out in the slot.
Yeah, his route running's too good. Yeah, his route running's too good. He's big. He's a strong guy, and can he finish? And I think that's the guy you look at. And if you want to take coverage away on the outside, you got to win in the slot too.
And I'm not, as far as Alshon goes, I mean, Alshon when he's healthy, he can man up on anybody. Somebody goes man to man on him, he'll win that battle 9 times out of 10. So, I think he's going to be a good player for us. I don't care what Torrey Smith does, what Aguilar does. Alshon's going to get his regardless. Yeah. I'm just, I need production to come from other receivers as well. You can't just get it all from him. But I don't necessarily think if Torrey Smith struggles, that means Alshon has a lesser year. If Alshon stays healthy, he's going to put up numbers. It's just what he does.
Well, hopefully Alshon can stay healthy. He's been hurt the past 2 years, so hopefully he can have a full season with us.
Yeah, but
some big numbers.
How much did he really want to play? I mean, I think people are looking a little bit too much into that. I mean, in Chicago,
hold on, hold the phone. I don't want no parts of it. He can go. He can leave right now.
Well,
get back on the plane and go back to Chicago.
That might be a fair point.
I'm not in the game. Listen, I'm not making the game where guys get paid millions and millions of dollars to shut it down.
Listen,
that might be right.
I agree with you.
You might be right, but I don't like it. That makes me not like it.
But hold on. Let's not be naive and act like that doesn't happen in not just professional sports, but now in college sports too. I mean, that's kind of the thing about. I mean, you saw what college Fournette sat out a bowl game. Multiple players sat out a bowl game following his lead. Let's not act like it doesn't happen. I mean, to me, we can look at it and call it that, but they're just calling it the business nowadays. That's how they.
When it's convenient.
That's how they're spinning it.
No, you're right.
I'm watching out for myself.
When it's convenient for the player, it's a business.
And listen.
Yeah. Other way around.
It would make me think a little bit less of him if that's what he was doing in Chicago, dogging it a little bit for whatever reason. But all I care about is, does he want to play here? From what I can tell, he is beyond happy to be here. It's like,
he's loving it.
Oh, I can't. He's so happy to finally get out of that shithole that he was in Chicago and that situation.
Of course.
And end up in a position where he feels like he can finally be successful in an organization that wants him and is going to use him correctly and all that. So if he was dogging it a little bit in Chicago, I don't really care as long as his attitude isn't that here.
Yeah.
That's fair. What do we got going on? Lateef Gray. I don't know much about the corner from Buffalo. How is he? Darby's a good solid player.
He's a good corner.
Schwartz can blitz and leave him on the island because that's how good he is.
He's the one guy I think Schwartz can have some confidence doing that with.
He's good one-on-one. So
that's why I think we'll see a little bit more blitzing this year.
Yeah, you can have a zone blitz and have Kendricks come in and leave Darby one-on-one on the outside, and he'll
as Tommy said, I mean, it's not what he does anyway. So, like, for us to think this is going to be like the Jim Johnson days again, where
you're going to be like that.
He's never been a heavy blitz guy, but you can at least send pressure more than just the four up front at times this year. Because there's always time. You got third in certain situation, you're going to want to send pressure to the quarterback. Sure, there was times last year he wanted to do it and just couldn't because you couldn't rely on your secondary. So I think we're going to see some certain situations with it this year, and maybe you can see guys like Kendricks actually fit a role finally. People talk about him being a trade piece now because of his great preseason. Maybe he can actually fit a role now and be productive in some ways because you have something that he can do efficiently, which is blitz.
Yeah, well, and Howie Roseman already made that clear that he's not in the business of trading. Yeah. Michael Kendrick. So, that's one of Howie's guys. That's one of Howie's picks from back in the day.
You're not just going to get rid of a guy for nothing. I mean,
no.
Sure if somebody ponied up a second-round pick or something you think about, but that's not what you're going to get for him. Yeah. You're pretty much just giving him away at this point. So why do that? Ralph, you mentioned it. Our linebacking core outside of Jordan Hicks is not deep. So he's another body.
That's why I still would have went with Reuben Foster, man.
How about Reuben Foster and Jordan Hicks in the same linebacking core? Is that not scary?
That's aggressive.
That's like Ray Lewis and Terrell Suggs in the same linebacking core.
Would have loved to see it. Greg Milwakovic, defense is the key to the season. Got to be able to stop someone. And Lateef Gray, how do you see Nelson this year?
Yeah, that we actually have a similar question on the YouTube comments.
I think he has a breakout year.
What do they say on the YouTube?
Well, we got two questions from Mr. Poogs. One is, does Aguilar have a breakout season? The other question is, who finishes the year with the most rushing yards? Smallwood?
I'll go with Nelson does have a breakout season. It's a put up or shut up year for him. He has to.
Yeah, I hope he.
I have confidence.
I'll ride your train, dude. I hope he does.
I have confidence in the skill set I see. That's all. Yeah. That's all I know. I mean, I have a tons of confidence in the skill set I see from the kid.
If he can get out of his own head, I think he'll be just fine. And I think that all starts with one. It starts with yourself, but two, it starts with confidence that comes from somebody outside of you. And Mike Groh, I think, has instilled a lot of confidence in him. That's why they've now put him in a role where they immediately felt comfortable to trade Jordan Matthews, say he's the starting slot guy, because they see the same thing that we've seen since he was drafted. There's definitely a skill set there that if you can tap into, he's a guy that can be efficient in that role in the slot. I think 55 catches, 800 yards, 5-6 touchdowns. I mean, that would be what I would think breakout year for me.
Guy, that's pretty good. I'll take that
I don't think he's going to have a 1,000-yard receiving season or something like that, but 55 catches, 800 yards,
he'll get
5
more
touchdowns.
Balls thrown to him because now they got to worry about Alshon over the top and Torrey Smith over the top too. I mean, don't get it twisted. Alshon can run the deep route too.
Well, yeah, of course. Alshon can run every route there is. I think Matt Collins might be the guy to watch by the end of the year because I think they're going to find different ways to get him into the offense and get the ball in his hands in the passing game. And I think you could have 4 receivers that legitimately could be touching the ball quite a bit by the time you get to the end of the year. And I'm not even talking about Sproles or Pumphrey or one of those guys, a running back that'll technically be catching the ball. I'm just talking about the receivers go. I think Hollins is going to find himself with quite a role in this offense at some point. He's too much of an athlete to not, and you saw that at times in the preseason.
Yeah, I'll go. I mean, I think he can end up with about 900. I think he can have a bigger year than people expect just because a lot of coverage is going Alshon's way, some Torrey's way, and he's the obviously Zach Ertz you got to worry about. There's other guys you got to worry about.
Ertz is going to have a big year,
I think it helps him in terms of the running back who will lead the team in rushing. I'll go.
I mean, who is our starting running back? You don't know it.
It's going to be different times, different guys. I know, towards the end of the football game, that's going to, when you're winning a game, that's going to be LeGarrette to sort of shut the door and close it down. But I'll go with Smallwood just because I feel like he can break a couple. And with that factor in it, where I think he could take 150 to the house, I think he might end up with more rushing yards for that factor. But I think they're going to be right there. I mean, I think when you talk about LeGarrette and Smallwood, I think their rushing yards will be really similar, where you sort of combine their numbers, and that's your full back. So that's how I look at it. And then you got to look at
you might even have a third back touching the ball.
And then Sproles going to get some carries. But outside of that, guys, nobody else is going to touch a football on this team. So the Corey Clement lovers of the world, just to stop.
Thank you.
Stop.
Say thank you.
No, I don't need him.
Ralph loves him.
No, it's not about liking him or disliking him, but I'm not.
I'm not cutting up Humphrey to put him on the roster at the
I'll
moment.
cut Humphrey right now because I don't care.
You don't even care that somebody else will claim him.
No, claim away because at the end of the day, he's not Darren Sproles.
No,
I see
agree
enough
with-
of Humphrey and the
with
acceleration.
that,
Just because the guy's small, we always got to compare.
No, listen, I agree with that 100%.
Like, come on, dude. So, hold on, you're 5'8". How tall are you?
I'm 5'9.5".
Oh, okay. So you Sproles? Hell no. So you know what I mean? Yeah. Like you're a smaller guy. So like, but my point is, we always want to compare, and that's the nature of the business.
I might be like 5'10.5". You're chipping me a couple inches here.
It's the nature of the business. We always want to compare,
No,
but I don't.
My point is, if you're Howie Roseman and you drafted him in the 4th round, you're not just going to cut him now immediately just to save face. If anything else, they're not going to cut him right now. I refuse to believe that Howie will bite that bullet and cut him.
No, you're going to hide. You're going to try to hide Clement on the practice squad.
Well, I think they realistically think that they could cut Clement. He would make it through waivers, and then they could just re-sign him right back to the practice squad. And you can't cut Pumphrey. Somebody will probably claim him. Not that I care if Pumphrey went. I'm with you. I really don't care if he's here.
Man. I like him.
Listen, this is what you got to remember about Clement. He looked good in his time in the preseason, but remember who he's playing against too. Did he start games and play against other teams' number 1 defenses? I mean, the guy looked good in his time. I think he deserves to be a part of the practice squad, but you can't carry 5 running backs. At least I think it's crazy to carry 5 running backs.
He'll make the practice squad over Pumphrey, like through waivers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think Pumphrey would get claimed by somebody. So realistically, what do the Eagles do? I think they cut Clement. He'll make it through waivers. They re-sign him to their practice squad, and by week 6 or 7, somebody's always banged up on your, somewhere on your roster, and maybe he ends up finding his way onto the roster because Pumphrey's hurt or Sproles is banged up or Smallwood, needs to miss a couple games, whatever the case might be. I think, him on the practice squad, he could end up playing at some point, but you just can't carry 5 active running backs. It's just not the way the league works. There's too many other positions of need.
No, that's true. But the 3 guys, leading the race here in terms of LeGarrette, Smallwood, and Sproles, if you're not getting production out of them guys, you're in trouble anyway. Yeah. So, I mean,
I'll go Blunt.
That's how I look at it.
I'll say I think Blunt, but I'm with you. I don't think any one guy is going to carry the ball a ton more than anybody else. Blunt might run for like 800 yards. Smallwood might run for close to 700 or whatever. Sproles will do his thing. But, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a running back by committee at times. I think you're going to see Blunt a lot of times in short yardage situations, 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5, situations like that. They might mix Smallwood in on other situations. Passing situations where they know we want to throw the ball. I don't like this idea of throwing the ball to Blunt out of the backfield.
Or a stretch play. If he ever runs a stretch play again, I'll punch Dougie P.
Well, I mean, I don't really know how much of that we're going to see in the regular. I think it's realistic to think we could see more of them throwing the ball to him because we do throw the ball to our backs a lot in this system. If that's the case, I think we're going to see a lot more of Smallwood and Sproles in those situations than we are at Blunt. I don't know how successful that little screen pass to Blunt 3 yards out of the backfield is going to be.
Oh, man.
What? No, Brian Wilson, how much money would Ralph pay to swallow Kobe's seed?
Ew.
That's a lot of money, dude.
It's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Oh, how much money did he make his final year with the Lakers?
32 year was like 35.3.
All right, so if they paid you $35 million, you're going to swallow Kobe's seed for that?
Damn right I would.
Might swallow 2.
We all might swallow
jump in
Kobe's
with
seed
you.
for 35.
Jump in waiting for a mill.
Will you cut that all with you? We get to split it 3 ways.
I'll split it between us 4.
Okay.
A couple more before we roll out and just head over to the YouTube. Lateef Gray, Blunt, Alshon Smith. Did we finally do good on offense down on the goal line? I think we do.
Yes.
Kenyon Moore, Blunt, Sproles, Torrey, Alshon, Aguilar, Ertz, all end zone threats. Wentz has a lot of toys to play with. I'm loving the potential of our offense. We just can't shoot ourselves in the foot with penalties and bad play calls. Agree? Completely agree. There's tons of potential here.
And that's why I think Collins could find a role too down on the goal line situation. You might put him in a slot over a guy like Aguilar at times or whatever. They go 4 wideouts.
Bigger body.
And right, he's a bigger body. He's a bigger target. I think they're going to find roles like that for him. Because you're going to, last year it seemed at times we definitely struggled to punch the ball into the end zone
100%.
from the red zone. Too many field goals. Too many going for it on 4th downs, not getting it. Got to punch the ball into the end zone. Can't settle for field goals this year.
Nah.
Teams that win in this league score touchdowns in the red zones. They don't kick field goals. They don't settle.
Well, you went and addressed 2, and before we head out here, you went and addressed 2 issues. You went and got a goal line back, right? And you went and got a goal line target in Alshon Jeffrey. So you handled 2 big issues that hurt this football team last year. I don't see them being the same issues this year. I think Doug
shouldn't be.
I think Doug as well as Carson takes a step forward this year in his play calling. I said it a lot, and I'll end it here. But, I believe when you come in and you're the new football coach of a team and what transpired before you got here in terms of the locker room and everybody, all that happening, and you're not a playoff team anyway, take chances.
Yeah.
Show the guys that are in this locker room that you're confident in them. Okay, so you don't get a 4th and 1. Okay, so you go for 2 in Baltimore and don't get it, or little things like that.
No,
what?
Yeah.
So what? Set a precedent that you're confident in your football team. You're here to take chances, and you go from there. And I like that year one.
The fourth down
they try to
decisions
change a little bit of
the issues.
Yeah, I guess some of the
as
culture.
Much as what you talked about earlier with the play call. I think people had more of a problem with 4th and 2 and a play call rather than going for it on 4th and 2. But you've got a lot more weapons in that. As a coach, as a play caller, that makes you more confident in the types of creative looks maybe you can show teams and stuff, because now you trust your guys, the talented guys that you have, to actually execute. Mm-hmm. You're kind of in a box when you don't have the weapons that you need to be successful. Now, you can't get as cute as you might want to. You can get cute, and now it looks good when you've got the talent to execute it. So, I'm not worried about the play calling side of things. That'll handle itself one way or another. What's he going to struggle at play calling forever? No. At some point, if he struggles that much play calling, it goes to Frank Reich or somebody else. I like what you mentioned, Tommy. What I've really liked about Doug is there was a lot of shit in shambles in this club in this locker room when Chip Kelly left, as far as the culture, as far as as far as the winning mentality, as far as all that went. Doug came in here, and that immediately changed.
1 year, and then the
guys have rallied around him. They have a winning mentality. It seems like everybody's back on the same page again. There's no division in this locker room like there was when Chip was here. A lot of division when Chip was here. Everybody's focused on that same goal, and there's a winning mentality in this locker room. That's more what coaching's about at the professional level than anything else is a culture thing. You saw it in San Francisco with Harbaugh when he got there, right? You show up, you instill your culture, all of a sudden you start winning pretty quickly. And that's what I would like to see here, is us winning pretty quickly. That's why I'd like to see us make the playoffs this year. I said, what are my expectations? We should be a playoff team. I see too many people talking about 7 or 8 wins for this team.
No,
that's not
how I look at it.
That's not realistic to me.
I look at it
as a playoff team.
I look at it as a playoff team. Before we roll out, Le'Veon Bell fulfills promise and report to the Steelers actually today and sign his $12.1 million franchise tender, and doesn't have to worry about going and filling out job applications anymore. So all that. Hey, join us over on YouTube. We'll be answering all your Eagles questions there. We'll talk a little college football later on in the show as well. Talk some preseason as that wrapped up. Are you worried about or concerned about the lack of snaps? I know I'm not.
No.
These boys will rock you the rest of the way. We'd like to, real quick, if you're just coming in, which of the bold predictions do you like the best? Alshon lead the league in receiving. Carson Wentz wins MVP. Number 1 defense in the NFL. Best record in the NFC. You can let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. ATD is where you can find us. We'll be right back after a quick commercial. I'd like to thank Gibson Mayer LLC, Soap Stash LLC, for sponsoring this segment, the new soap standard. Find them on the web, soapstash.com, and Gibson Mayer for your certified public account. Find them on the web, gibsonmayer.com. Head over to the YouTube, wrapping it up over there.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
get your skills in shape? Then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Welcome back to the Rundown, A2DRadio.com. Mr. Vespi pretty much has us sitting on each other's laps now.
Nah, dude, what the hell? I got no ball room, nothing.
How do you balls have room to, like, do what they need to do anyway with all that leg fat you got hanging in their way?
Bro, relax, bro. Relax, dude.
I channeled my inner Brian Wilson and got very
Nah,
savage
dude.
there as we came back from break.
Wilson always got to go after me.
You're
You ever
his
notice that?
favorite.
I can't post a Facebook post without him, and I can't do nothing on Twitter without him.
You're his favorite.
He was wrong about the PEDs, though. I got him on that.
What, with John Jones?
Yeah, cockroach.
John Jones
He's a cheater anyway.
snorts cocaine and
He's a
everything
cheater.
else.
What are you fixing, Frank?
J-Roll. J-Roll took a fall after the
J-Roll. Wait, we're rolling J's and you didn't haven't invited?
No. Jimmy Rollins. The Jimmy Rollins bobblehead took a fall at the end of the fix as we were putting in the new table, so I'm going to try to fix it to make it look nice.
You're always breaking stuff.
You broke the Jimmy Rollins bobblehead. Great for you, Frank.
I didn't break it.
Who broke it? Who did it? We want to know. We need to know.
I will not say who it is because.
No, you're going to narc. That's what's going to happen here.
I'm not going to narc.
And this person's going to get called out on the air.
Well,
It wasn't Frank.
it wasn't me, and it wasn't Tom.
It was freaking Brodo.
It wasn't you, and it wasn't Tom.
And it wasn't Brodo.
And it wasn't Brodo.
It wasn't Brodo.
I know who it was.
It must have been.
It was Noah. That's who it was.
No, actually, it wasn't.
What?
It
Was it
wasn't
Noah?
It wasn't.
Who the hell was it?
All right.
It was that guy that I didn't know his name. I was watching, and it was was it some guy that was like the stranger?
The stranger.
Who's that guy? Who else was on the show? I didn't
Dude,
recognize
this
him.
fell on top of me.
Well, I mean, it's not. It wasn't Greg. It wasn't. Well, it was.
Who was it?
I hope I don't get in trouble. It was Chris, our guy behind the scenes.
Oh, Chris Lyons?
Chris Lyons. He accidentally he lifted the sign up.
Damn it, Chris. What are you doing?
Nah, it was Frank.
It wasn't.
Yeah,
me.
it was free. It's Frank
No.
blaming
You know
Chris.
Frank did it because
Yeah.
he's got to put that together.
I
now.
was there. Damn it.
Frank, he's really in the crafts and things like that. He's always been in the crafts.
Yeah, look at him go.
Nah, the glue's not coming out for some reason. It's been in my car for a while.
Ah,
Need to pick it with a safety pin or something to get the glue out.
Enough of that.
Clever.
You know what really had me mad this morning? What really had me mad was,
What's been making you mad?
How people are claiming that JT Barrett's the best quarterback in the.
Now that's what's making you mad.
I hate him.
That people are stealing your
He's
show
not good.
ideas.
Yeah, you're a Michigan State fan, and Michigan State stinks.
Dude, I'm really going to have to punch you in your upper lip and keep on talking shit.
They stunk
Punch
last year.
out.
They're going to stink this year.
No, they're not.
They're going to be good this year all of a sudden?
We're a 9-win team this
A
year.
9-win team. 9 wins?
Yeah. 100%.
Who's your quarterback?
Brian Lewerke.
Who?
Brian Lewerke.
Yep.
Is he going to worky his way to more than 6 wins this year?
Oh, 100%.
All righty.
Our defense is a lot better. We got L.J. Scott still.
Sounds like he sounds like a stud. His name just sounds.
Yeah.
He sounds like he's a good football player.
Oh,
One of
yeah.
those Studley.
He's like a Le'Veon, dude.
Michigan State names.
He's like when Le'Veon was with State.
You're attracted to these studly Michigan State players?
No, it's just the names. Anything that comes up with those.
Anything
names,
that comes from Michigan State players, I'm a fan of.
They make some sort of impact going into the draft. I know you brought up L.J. Scott, but that sounds like those NFL.
Look at Le'Veon Bell, dude. He went to State.
Ready names.
Now look at him. Filling out
Le'Veon
Dairy Queen
Bell.
applications.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, you got to keep your job You got to keep your job options open.
Yeah, you have to.
Got to, in today's society, you never know when you're going to have to apply to Dairy Queen. I figured if you're making the money that he makes, and then he didn't work in the NFL anymore, he could work at a Dairy Queen just for fun because,
He'll
I
be
like
good.
ice cream.
He'll be fine.
Of course, he's reporting to
20.1.
Steelers camp because we all knew that was going to happen. $12.1 million, like he was going to hold out and lose some of that money.
Well, you know what? Let the guy do whatever he wants.
Is that what you would do?
He wants to go ahead and
Is that,
piss away
if
his
that would
football
you if that
career.
is that what you would do if you were the in charge of the Michigan State program? You just let these guys do whatever they want.
I won't be like Rick Pitino calling out prostitutes and shit like that.
Or Hugh Freeze calling up escorts.
Yeah.
I wonder.
For Chad Kelly.
That just makes you think. Yeah, like Chad Kelly looks like the type of dude hanging out with escorts.
Yeah.
Like I wonder what type of nonsense is Chad Kelly and Hugh Freeze.
How do I fail so I can stay here for
Yeah,
one more
wait,
year?
was it Hugh Freeze? Was he calling up those escorts? Were they personally for him, or were they like recruiting tips? Was it like a Patino thing where we were using these hookers?
It's the Pitino.
We were using these hookers to get recruits in here because I could see him using an escort that intrigued Chad Kelly enough to come to Ole Miss.
Yeah, Chad, you could just stay here. We
'Cause
can
it's
get
good-
as
what was
many prostitutes as you
Chad was
want.
chasing Mia Khalifa? Wasn't that who it was? The
Yeah.
porn star?
Yeah. You could be a fifth-year senior. You will start every time. What do you want, Chad?
He's going to be the quarterback of the Broncos' future now here.
You think so?
Oh, yes. Trevor Siemian won't even finish the year. That'll be Chad Kelly.
Not even Paxton Lynch?
Paxton Lynch stinks. He stinks.
I wish he went to the Cowboys.
He stinks.
If I knew that Paxton Lynch stunk, I wish he went to the Cowboys because they got a monster of their own in Mr. Dak Prescott.
Well, let's just hope that this Ezekiel Elliott thing.
He ain't going to get suspended. He ain't getting suspended.
Well, let's hope it's currently a 6-game suspension. They would have to overrule it. I don't think they're going to overrule it That's never really happened before.
Didn't he beat a girl 3 times in the same week?
Probably.
That's what one of the reports were
and
out.
then he beat up a DJ
Huh.
at a Dallas nightclub.
You might as well just do UFC, man, if he likes to fight like that.
And then he claims that the girl that was accusing him, that was not his girlfriend. It was just one of many chicks that he was banging, apparently. That's his words. He was banging many chicks. That was just one of those chicks that he was banging.
Nice.
I don't know what that has to do with whether or not you beat
Respect.
her,
Yeah.
So because, she wasn't my girlfriend. So why is that, like, if you slapped her in the face, then you slapped her in the face. If
If a girl's not your girlfriend, that automatically gives you...
Yeah, that changes it. Now it's not
punch her
domestic
in the
violence.
Yeah.
It's just assault.
Yeah.
It's not domestic violence anymore. It's no different than if I punched you in the face.
The convicts are the Cowboys, man. Cowboys love them convicts.
Of course, Jerry Jones was trying to, talk his good friend.
Goodell.
No, not Goodell. The guy, the independent arbitrator, whoever it is,
I don't know who
that he
is.
claims is a good friend of his. Who was it, Frank? You know the guy's name.
The hell should I know?
The independent arbitrator that's over the Elliott case that Jerry Jones was talking about. How the guy Harvey Henderson or something.
Frank knows everything, but
I know he doesn't know this. He's talking about how
I'm just waiting for the final results of the suspension hearing of Zeke.
Well, yeah, that's
Well,
guy's.
if he doesn't get suspended, then it's complete bullshit.
Well, the NFLPA just tried to place a temporary restraining order in the state of Texas, similar to what happened in the whole Tom Brady situation. But as you saw, that didn't help Tom Brady at all. So how's it going to help Ezekiel Elliott?
Well, 6 games, dude.
And he pulled down the girl's top, so her titty was hanging out. I mean,
Dude,
those were some good titties. I'm not, I understand why he did it. I would have done it too.
Don't make me laugh. 6 games.
You're a fan of titties?
Oh no. Yeah.
You like bukkake? Is that your favorite porn category?
Bukkake?
Bukkake?
Ew.
No, bro.
You don't watch
Come on.
porn, Ralph? What's wrong with you?
Frank, do you?
Haven't
See-
we all?
See, if you put me on the spot, I'll put Frank on the spot.
Mia Khalifa, I mean, come on. These hot porn stars.
Once in a while.
Don't you want to have Ron Jeremy's life? You could be the next Ron Jeremy.
That would be sweet, dude.
I mean, come on. You know how many girls he's helped through their, anal porn debuts and shit?
A lot.
Yes. He is world famous all because of his porn career. How can, you complain about that? Look at his life. He is famous because of porn.
Yep.
He gets to live in Vegas, and, how many places he gets to go, just as an invited guest and shit because he's Ron Jeremy, porn king.
A lot. And he's making.
And he's not even like he's a good-looking dude. He looks like you in a lot of ways.
I'm good looking, bro. Come on now.
Maybe for a fat man. Is that what the earrings? The earrings are going to help your looks? Is that you cut the hair, you got the earrings, now we're going to get a sleeve tattoo?
I want to get a sleeve.
See, I like the sleeve tattoo theory because no matter how ugly you are, how fat you are, a sleeve
Tattoos
tattoo
look good on you.
automatically makes you attractive.
Yeah.
Like the girls. Doesn't matter how fat and ugly you might be. You could look like Frank. A sleeve tattoo all of a sudden gets you swimming in
Frank,
pussy.
if I get a sleeve tattoo, you got to get a sleeve tattoo.
You could look like Brian Wilson. A sleeve tattoo changes everything.
I don't want a sleeve
Nah,
tattoo.
he's in no hope.
He's got no hope.
No
Oh,
hope.
God.
I don't want a sleeve tattoo.
And now you're really asking for it.
Wilson wants to take shots at me.
Now you're really asking for it. You think he's going to stop coming after you on social media now?
He's a bully, dude.
He's a bully.
Jeez. Calling out people behind the scenes.
He
Jeez.
likes pushing buttons. That's his thing.
It's fine with me.
You got to push his buttons right back.
It's fine with me.
I
I'm
talk about how
doing
fat his head is every time you ever. I mean, every time before we go on the show, I always end up with your headset, Brian, and then I got to deal with your big ass head. And now, I've got a tiny peanut head, so your big ass head stretches out this headset, and then I got to adjust it every time before I get on the air, and I'm getting tired of it.
And it pisses you
Pisses
off.
me off.
Well, you know what they say. It's better to be pissed off than pissed on. So
Thank you, Frank.
you're welcome.
Are you focused on producing, or are you focused on the stupid bobblehead?
I'm producing. I'm keeping an eye on the time.
Frank.
Frank's got this. I believe in him.
Just gotta trust the process.
What
Jesus
process?
Of,
B goes down, your process is gone.
of getting.
Oh, stop it.
And B can't even play a whole entire season.
Did you
He's a
see what
bum.
happened?
He's a bum.
The Lakers said that
He's a bum.
they signed Caldwell Pope.
Contavious
Caldwell Pope, all because he's got the same agent as LeBron. So they signed him with the intention of he's got the same agent as LeBron. We'll obviously now be able to work LeBron, and get him to come here since we've got a player in Pope who's got the same
Lonzo,
agent. Because Caldwell Pope,
Paul
he's a
George,
phenomenal player.
LeBron, Brandon Ingram, Julius Randle, all next year.
Ben Simmons is the real.
Ben Simmons stinks.
Okay.
Relax. Hasn't played a game in the NBA. And you wanna
Neither's
count him?
Lonzo.
Lonzo's better than Ben Simmons.
Oh, would you stop it?
Get out of here.
Lonzo is a poor man's Ben Simmons.
Lonzo's going to dunk on Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons' sister's got to run out on the court and save him.
No, I think it's the other way around.
the other way around.
I believe Ben Simmons is going to
No.
dunk on Lonzo, and then Ben's hot-ass sister,
Well, will they
Olivia,
play-
isn't that her name, Olivia?
Yeah.
She is smoking
Yeah,
hot.
she is.
You know what the problem? You want to immediately make Ben Simmons is better than Lonzo Ball simply because of the fact that he's got a hot smoking ass sister. Smoking ass, hot ass Olivia Simmons makes Ben Simmons better than Lonzo Ball right there. You know what would make the Ball family a lot better?
What?
If they had a hot ass fucking daughter and sister that was a part of this whole gimmick. If LaMelo could get replaced with like Lorraine, like that would be so much better.
You're just a hater. dude.
Lorraine. Of all the L names, you pick Lorraine.
LaMelo and Lorraine. I mean, what's a better L name? What do you got?
Lawanda.
Okay.
I don't know. It's LaFonda.
That's not
Lawanda.
racist or anything.
No, it wasn't. I was trying to go with the theme of like the with the L's and with like LiAngelo and
He's always trying to get us
LaMelo and
suspended.
Lonzo.
You ever
I'm not
notice
trying
that?
to get suspended.
He's always got to say something outrageous to see if we can get suspended for about 4 weeks.
I mean, in 4 weeks, I won't be here,
Yeah,
so.
it's bullshit because you're leaving. Now.
You can't be suspended for 4 weeks. I swear I'm going to kill you. These are the final 4 weeks I have.
Might as well enjoy them.
So when does your.
Frank, you're going to miss Zach, dude, and you
No,
know
he
you're
is.
going to miss
He's
him.
going to. I'm going to, like, it's going to be like 2 in the morning
Look, he's freaking
in
tearing
Florida.
up.
It's going to
He's
be 2 in the
freaking
morning in
tearing up.
Florida. I'm going to hear a knock on my door. It's going to be Frank showing up. I'm not even going to give him the address. He's going to just figured it out. Like, how do you know where I live? I haven't even told you my address.
Google Earth.
Like you just you stalked me with Google Earth, you weirdo. What is wrong with you?
You know how they take pictures of like the cars going down?
Yeah, he's gonna find my
He's gonna
car.
see your car, and he's just gonna take it all the way down until he doesn't see your car no more. That's where you live. Can't believe you're leaving, dude.
Listen,
You know
sometimes
what?
you got to do what you got to do.
You know what? I'm gonna put this guilt trip on you so you can stay.
I'm not
Yeah.
staying here,
Guilt trip.
and you're never gonna feel like I'm never gonna be back. Never.
I'll let you move in my house,
I don't want to move into your stupid fucking house.
dude. Imagine all the best dinners you want.
It'll be the rundown house.
The best dinners you want. Best breakfast.
Me and Brandy, like I don't think we could live in your house
best
like
lunch,
that. No.
Cable. Xbox.
Me and Mama Delavecchio gonna be smoking blunts and stuff.
No, my mom don't smoke.
Well, that's a problem. See, there's the issue. There's the first issue.
Wow. You know
Well.
what? Yeah, that'd be a bad idea.
Be a really, really tough situation.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. You know what? You should move down to Florida.
I think it's becoming legalized down there at a lot quicker rate by county.
They had a vote earlier, and I think it was like shot down by like a narrow margin.
Who, Florida did?
Yeah.
And you know Frank was reading up on that.
Yeah, of course.
Look at him.
He's so weird over here with his Jimmy Rollins bobblehead. Frank,
fixed.
when does your season start for the Eagles? What's the first game you cover?
The first game I cover, well, I've been covering all preseason.
Do you have to go to the home games even though you're not doing it?
Yeah.
Well, that's bullshit.
I
That would suck, dude.
there was a picture up of I believe it was Swoop at the podium answering questions.
Is that you?
And I was wondering if that was you.
Where was the?
I can't remember where I saw it.
Wait, hold on.
But I was like, that looks like something Frank would do.
All right. Did Swoop have a happier face?
Well, yes, he usually has a happy face, doesn't he?
But is it
Now
happy?
There's two heads.
It looked
There's
like
two
you.
Heads. There's two
There's
heads.
two heads. You got the mean one and you got the happy one.
Happy?
Frank's
Yeah,
the
he
happy
definitely
one.
had the happy one.
That's Frank. So now I know how to tell them apart. If the dude's mean, it's the other guy. If he's happy,
So Frank
it's
plays
Frank.
happy Swoop,
I play happy.
and the other guy plays angry Swoop.
Yeah. like the official mascot.
Well, that's what we name the heads and everything.
Yes, you know the picture that I'm looking of. I think the Eagles posted it.
Oh, the Eagles posted.
Yeah, it was on their Facebook page or something.
Let me.
And then I was going to like it as A2D
so
Radio.
Frank, if you're not
Wait, was this on Twitter?
Might have been.
Because I know you have reigns of Twitter. Let me
Zach
find it.
Zach low key bashes people on Twitter too.
Oh, I'm a
yeah.
troll.
Yeah.
I troll the shit out of people on Twitter. I look for idiots.
Like that
you know.
whole thing with ESPN, that was amazing.
Oh, well, you saw I put 5 tweets up, and I was going in, too. It's like, okay, I take that back. You can't be sued for this. Still doesn't mean, yeah, I was like, there's a lawsuit coming. It's like, all right, wait, I take that back. They can't sue because technically he agreed to switch assignments. Still doesn't make this situation any better. I'm Robert E. Lee. I'm going to change my name officially to Robert E. Lee. I want to see ESPN throw me off the air.
Correct. He's doing the he was supposed to do the West Virginia Tech game Sunday, right?
Yeah, he was supposed to do the University of Virginia something game, and they got all bent out of shape about it. But he's got the name Robert Lee. Like, you know how many people have the name Robert Lee?
Yeah.
Like, my dad went to high school with somebody named Robert Lee. He's now a carpenter. He goes by the name Bobby Lee. Then you got the Asian actor from Mad TV back in the day, Bobby Lee. I bet you he was Robert Lee, right? Technically, he had to be Robert Lee. Definitely wasn't Bobby.
Right. or some other.
You know how many Robert Lees exist? Like, that's the most ridiculous thing ever. We could fire Robert E. Lee, but we could fire Robert Lee, but we can't fire Stephen A. Smith. We could fire Robert Lee, but not Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm looking for that.
So is that what it's going to take to get Stephen A. Smith fired? We got to get him to change his name to Robert Lee? Get him to change his name to Robert A. Lee instead of Stephen A. Smith. He'll be fired. You're still trying to find your picture.
Yes.
All right.
So I can confirm it.
Yeah, I know. I know. Now I've got you all intrigued on which picture it is.
Yeah. I'm gonna look for it.
We're gonna get into these Eagles playoff hopes, Ralph, because
Playoffs.
we all seem to have these expectations. Right before we went to the last break, I talked about I've heard too many people talk about, I see this team with 8 wins. If this team wins 7 or 8 games this year, somebody's getting fired in my book.
Well, if the team wins 7 to 8 games, I think Doug Peterson's out the door.
I think somebody's getting fired. I think Jim Schwartz probably gets fired before anybody, just because he'll be the scapegoat.
Well,
and
it's
Howie would
playoff-
probably get fired before Doug.
It's playoff or bust this year. It's playoff
That's
or
how
bust.
I think we're a playoff team, and at this point, it does have to be playoff or busts.
And if it's not playoffs, then Mr. Howie Roseman, you're out the door, buddy.
You know what?
Give me a new GM.
What makes the Giants the best team in the division? I've heard a lot of people say the Giants are the best team in the division. What makes that, Frank? I know you think the Giants are the best team in the division.
Bro, do you know who they have throwing the ball still? Do they know who they have throwing the ball still? Mr. Eli Manning.
People said
he
he
throws about 44 picks a year.
People said he had a good year last year. He threw 26 touchdowns and 16 interceptions.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz had that type of year this year. All these Cowboy fans would be ripping him
Yep,
apart.
that's me. John McMullen.
I guess.
That's me. This one. Or
Yeah,
Barry.
well, I was zoomed out, and I got to see the picture from
It's me.
one of the media members out in the audience. And they were now answering questions at the podium. Swoop.
Yep.
Sounds like something you would do.
Yeah, it's something that I would
And then
do.
start doing sign language and everything to answer questions.
I actually whistle the questions. I actually whistle out the answers. I don't know what I'm saying while I'm whistling, but it's hilarious.
What, you whistle in the suit and it comes out sounding all weird?
No, you can. The whistling is actually pretty audible from the inside the costume and everything. So it's like, but it's audible, and they make their own assumptions on what Swoop is saying. But if it's directed towards the Cowboys, I make the star and then I go. So. Yeah.
So you're actually allowed to talk.
We whistle.
Oh, you can't talk, but you can make noises.
We can make noises, so we can't say, "Hey, Zeke, you suck." We can't say.
Now, when you're in
That'd be
costume with
hilarious.
other Eagles personnel who know that you're in costume, you can talk with them, right?
Yeah, if it's like time, thirsty.
Like you
need a
can lean
break.
over to one of the guys that's like a handler or whatever. I don't know, you got a handler,
We
right?
get handlers, yeah.
Technically, Frank's a wild animal. He needs a handler. That just sounds so like. Yeah, we have handlers. Like, what are you, out of control? Like,
No.
you need a handler like you're a wild animal.
Well, if you're at Eagles games and there's a bunch of people going crazy that some of them might go after the bird. So it's like, oh.
The Philly Fanatic has a handler, but his handler doesn't do any good for him, does he?
No, they do good.
No, Philly Fanatic, he's been sued more than any mascot in sports. That's a terrible handler. The guy that looks after him.
Yeah, but a lot of those lawsuits been tossed out. So
no shit. It's kind of hard to go to a ball game and sue the mascot.
Yeah,
Right.
Stupid.
He took my hat and he threw it 20 rows up. Okay, now were you aware, like, coming to the game that this mascot creature existed and that this was his gig that he did?
Yeah.
If you're aware of that, then you can't be.
Basically,
that's like going to a ball game and suing the team once you get hit in the face with a foul ball.
Yeah.
Like, well, you knew this risk when you showed up. You knew the Fanatic could fuck with you when you showed up to the game.
There was a
You knew
really
this
weird
risk.
lawsuit coming out of Kansas City with a slugger.
Who the hell's that? The
He-
Royals mascot?
The Royals mascot.
Yeah.
And they
You don't
do
know
it.
that?
And they
Slugger?
He has 3 R's apparently. But Slugger did a thing during Royals games where he would shoot hot dogs into the stand.
And what, hit somebody in the face?
It hit a woman in the face, and she sued the team for an undisclosed amount of money.
I would have taken money from her. I was like, I would be like, if I'm a judge, I'm like, not only do I not award you any money, but you were ordered to pay the Royals like $5,000 for this ridiculous waste of time.
It got tossed out.
No shit.
Yeah. After 2 years of trying to deliberate, it got tossed.
Be like, well, like what?
You know
That's
what?
what you get for taking weenies to the face.
Try
Stop
to
letting
take
people
our
hit.
money? You want that $4.25 for that hot dog then?
Yeah, stop getting hit. Stop letting weenies hit you in the face. I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
Yeah.
shouldn't have let
The
Slugger.
college days are over.
Shouldn't have let Slugger slap you in the face with his weenie.
The college days are over.
Yes. Okay, this is no longer Cy felt the thigh or whatever the fuck these sorority houses are known as. Cy Delta Thigh or whatever, Frank.
What?
Give me a sorority house.
A sorority house?
Cy Delta Thigh or
Delta. American Airlines.
Chi Omega. Chi Omega.
Chi Omega.
That is an actual sorority.
That's a sorority house.
Yeah.
This is not your Chi Omega days. We're not trying to challenge the rest of the bitches in the house to see who can take more wieners to the face, right,
Yeah.
Ralph?
Seriously.
Leave your Chi Omega.
Chi Omega.
Chi Omega. Your Chi Omega Falls days behind you.
Yep.
Cuyahoga Falls. Of all the sororities, you picked that one.
Well, I mean, I was trying to think of the ones that I know that were at Western Kentucky University, because then there was like a running gag with like one of the sororities like called Phi Mu, and the original chant that we call them is that we refer to them as rattle rattle, here come the cattle, Phi Mu. Yeah.
And that's why, folks, you don't go to Western.
And this is why Frank doesn't get laid.
I didn't come up with
chants this.
I didn't come up with it, and I did not
Because he
endorse
chants
it,
this at
but
sorority girls.
No, I did not chant it at
Was this a sorority house?
Yeah, it's an actual sorority house.
Well, then you chanted at sorority girls.
But I didn't say it in front of them.
Say it
We don't
behind her
say that.
back.
But that's even worse. You're saying it behind their backs even worse. You think they don't hear about these chants that y'all are fucking
Frank, you
directing
did
at them?
good. You did good. You did good.
Rattle, rattle, here come the cattle.
Phi Mu.
And you think they don't hear this? Like they find out about it. Hey, did you hear that chant that those assholes are chanting at you? Rattle, rattle, here come the cattle. Fab.
Oh, the things that I say to the fraternities. Oh, they're even worse.
Well, they're a fraternity. They don't. That's kind of.
the
they don't
two
matter.
agriculture fraternities, we do like drive-by yelling, and when we tell them at their parties, "Nice goat," because there's like a rumor that they fuck goats for hazing.
Oh, nice, Frank. Thanks for showing that on the air too. I'm telling you, dude.
I do not endorse this.
Suspended, dude.
I
You
do
have
not
like the
endorse
gayest habits of any college student. We went and did drive-by yelling. Like most college students are doing drive-by gangbangs. Like you're involved in a drive-by yelling.
because we were bored. We were bored. It was late at night.
You sit here and chant, rattle, rattle, here come the cattle at sorority bitches. Most college guys, they're chanting a lot of other things at sorority bitches. More sexual-based things. Cat whistles and things like that. Do you have a cat whistle at one of them?
I don't know.
What kind of answer is that? You're embarrassed to admit that? So you never flirted with any of these sorority bitches?
I mean, I had classes with a few of them.
Oh my God, that is nowhere close. Oh, I said flirt. How is
Do you have a pencil?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Can I borrow?
Frank,
Can I borrow your? Can I borrow your 3-ring binder or whatever it is? Can
Frank
I
hates
borrow?
us, man.
Can I borrow your 5-subject notebook?
Frank, I hope our friendship's not going to be out the door.
That's not even close. Have you ever floated with any of these sorority girls? I had classes with them.
I don't know if it.
That's the closest Frank's ever come to flirting with any girl is having class with them. We had an English class together. That's like the equivalent of a blowjob to Frank. I had a conversation with her for more than 5 minutes. Equals intercourse.
Frank, whenever you want to leave, dude, just let me know.
I'm sorry, but he kind of set himself up for this one.
Yeah, you know what? Let's go back on topic.
That's like when we're like, when you're like 11 or 12, and somebody say, "Oh, you've never kissed a girl," and like, "I kissed my mom." Like, "Oh, that doesn't count." Like, like, you never flirted with any of these girls. I had class with them. Like, what kind of? Oh my God. Next week's segment: Get Frank laid.
Yeah.
A2D hookers.
We'll get you there, Frank.
Yes.
We'll get you there, dude. Maybe not today. Maybe not next month. But we'll get you there.
Somebody's in Vegas. We're going to go to have a live remote from Vegas. Or we'll go to Atlantic City since that's much closer. Live remote from Atlantic City.
I don't want meth in my system.
Strap a GoPro to Frank's forehead.
See how picky he is? See, we
not
talked about this
picky.
earlier. He is picky.
We could strap a GoPro to Frank's forehead.
He wants to get laid, yet he doesn't want to have sex with a hooker. How would, I mean, it's like saying I want to be rich, but I don't want to work. Like,
Does your mother approve?
Yes. Yes. Well, is that the...
He's got the business call.
Yeah, so apparently Frank's mother has called him.
No, I got some weird voicemail.
So can you mute your microphone then so we don't have to hear this voicemail?
It was nothing.
I'm so
All right,
confused.
What are we doing about the Eagles?
I know
Let's go back
we
to
go to
the
the
Eagles.
Redskins week 1, then we go to Kansas City, and then who are we at week 3?
Giants.
Home game against the Giants.
So we got to get off to a fast start, particularly within the division.
Yeah.
Because if we want to be a playoff team,
And if you lose 2 games in the division,
Well,
your season's pretty much on the edge.
forget about that.
No,
But,
I'm not forgetting about it.
well,
If you lose 2
that's-
division games, week 1 and week 3.
That
your
does put you
season's-
behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
But what puts you behind the 8 ball even more than that would be losing those first 2 games of the year in general. You start the season 0-2, your chances of being a playoff team
They're very slow.
have now dramatically dipped.
Yeah.
If you start a season 0-3,
I'll start 1-1, dude.
if you start a season 0-3, you have a 1% chance
Yeah.
of making the playoffs.
If you tell me we'll go 1-1 going up into the home opener against the Giants, I'll take it.
Yeah, I think you need you need to split the first 2, but if you had your way, what would be best case scenario for the Eagles is they would win the Redskins game and lose the Chiefs game.
That's fine by me.
Because the Redskins game is more important. It's a division game. So if you had to pick, if you say, okay, we go 1-1 on those first 2, you got to win the Redskins game. That's the more important game to win. Not to mention, it's also they've had our number the past couple years. You're on the road, I believe,
Again,
at Washington to start the year. So that's a big win to start the year. On the road against a team that's had your number the past couple years, against a quarterback that's had our number. 5-1 against us since Jay Gruden took over as head coach, I believe.
Yeah. 4-1, 5-1.
5-1, which would be the same. And that's, I think all of them have been as.
When the hell did we beat
all
them?
of them have been
can't
with Kirk
remember.
Cousins as quarterback.
We lost 2. They swept us last year.
Then we beat them without Kirk Cousins?
I don't know. I forget. They beat us week 16 of last year before Chip Kelly got fired.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, that was the
That's
final.
3-0.
That was the final Chip Kelly game. Yeah, when Mark Sanchez is quarterback, that was a game we were winning, and then we gave it away.
Bradford was the quarterback that time.
It was Bradford.
There was a time before that with Sanchez. That was what was the very
Oh, it was the year before.
with the very end of Chip Kelly's tenure.
When they were playing the Lions and the Bucks. Remember that? When Mark Sanchez was the quarterback for
Yeah,
the Lions
wasn't that
and the
the end
Buccaneers
of
game.
Chip Kelly's tenure?
Yeah, that was the year.
That was his final year, right?
Because Bradford was there. Yeah, it was 2 years ago.
But Bradford wasn't the quarterback at that time.
It was Mark Sanchez.
It was Sanchez playing because Bradford was hurt.
Because I thought Mark Sanchez deep down could get us 2 wins against the Lions and the Buccaneers.
Yeah, and I kept telling you that wasn't going to happen.
And we got blown out by the Lions. We got blown out by the Bucs.
Mark Sanchez, like ugly follows Mark Sanchez wherever he goes. Like he's attracted to ugly, addicted to ugly, like the butt fumble, ugly. His time here in Philly, ugly. Went to Dallas last year. The game he played against us, ugly. Like, ugly follows Mark Sanchez everywhere.
The 2 weeks he was in Denver, ugly.
Yeah, that was ugly. Yeah, ugly follows Mark Sanchez wherever he goes.
Now he's in Chicago. How much uglier can you get?
Well, I mean, yeah, that's already an ugly situation, so might as well be there, right?
Yeah, might as well just join.
He'll end up playing there at some point too. Watch. He's the third string guy in Chicago now.
Yeah, it's Glennon, Trubisky, and then Sanchez.
Didn't he get cut?
Nah.
They didn't cut him.
He's still there.
Tells you a lot of what they think of those two quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Glennon, well, Giraffe Neck's going to get hurt at some point. And then Trubisky, you can't count on him to, not suck at first. So they got to have Sanchez just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case they have a situation like last year. Well, Barkley, what happened to Matt Barkley? Because he was in Chicago.
He's with the 49ers.
He's with the Niners.
Oh, well, he stunk it up in Chicago.
Behind Brian Hoyer.
Brian Hoyer might actually have a decent year.
Yeah.
Think about
the only person that's going to be catching the ball this year is Pierre Garçon.
His two good years, like his two best years in the NFL came with Shanahan as coordinator.
Yeah.
In Cleveland. And then in Houston, he was with Bill O'Brien. He didn't have a bad year. Led them to the playoffs or whatever.
Then where was he last year? Brian Hoyer last year.
He was with
Didn't he help lead Houston? Wasn't he one of the quarterbacks that took Houston to the playoffs last year?
Brian Hoyer.
Where was Brian Hoyer last year?
Oh, no.
No, he wasn't.
It was Houston.
Was he one of the multiple quarterbacks that helped take them to the playoffs?
Yeah, because Hoyer got injured.
Hoyer, yeah.
Because he got injured, yep.
And then Savage took over.
Yep.
Then Savage got hurt, and it went back to Osweiler.
And Osweiler stealing money from people.
Telling you that the 49ers team, people think they stink. I heard I was upset. I was listening to Agree to Disagree, and somebody said Shanahan was dead weight. That the Falcons, all that was dead weight, them losing Shanahan. If you mean to tell me that offense is going to be just as good with Steve Sarkisian calling plays as it was with Kyle Shanahan, I'm ready to fight you. Like we can trade hands right now. Like don't tell me that Shanahan's dead weight. Like Steve Sarkisian, like that Falcons offense isn't going to miss a beat. Steve Sarkisian is nowhere near as good of an offensive coordinator and play caller as Kyle Shanahan, and that offense in Atlanta will take a step back without Shanahan. They're going to miss Shanahan completely. Meanwhile, the 49ers, who absolutely stink, Shanahan walks in there. They're changing that culture around real quick. They got guys like John Lynch calling the shots as GM. Reuben Foster now is your first-round pick. All of a sudden, that could be a team that wins 7 games this year.
Solomon Thomas.
I think the 49ers could win 7 games this year.
Yeah, and Solomon Thomas, dude.
Yeah, Solomon Thomas is there. Reuben Foster. Don't be surprised if they win 7 games and shock everybody.
Yeah.
People are like, that's the worst team in football. Okay, great. They're not going to be anywhere near as bad as the Jets or any teams like that, or the Bills.
The Jets are going to win 2 games this year. The Jets are winning 2 games.
The 49ers will win 7 games out in the NFC West, which is a really tough division. I'll say the 49ers will win more games than the Rams.
Wow.
I'm gonna think otherwise. I think I got the Rams winning more.
Who the hell do the Rams have? Give me one player on the Rams beside Todd Gurley.
Well, Jared
Tavon
Goff.
Austin, bro.
Jared Goff's making improvements in the Sean McVay
There's a reason
system.
they traded for Sammy Watkins, because Tavon Austin stinks.
Yeah, and they also acquired Sammy Watkins. Cooper Kupp could be something special with the Rams offense.
I wanted the Eagles to draft him.
Cooper Kupp could have a decent year. He's got Jared Goff and Dan Orlovsky, for God's sakes, throwing him the fucking football. Dan Orlovsky's like 45 years old, and he's their backup, which we all know means he's going to play a whole lot because Jared Goff stinks.
Cooper Kupp, I would like to see
You would
him
take
win.
the 49ers defense over that Rams defense, would you not?
Yeah, I would take the 49ers.
I mean, the Rams do have Aaron Donald defensively.
But Aaron Donald's still in the holdout, though, dude.
Yeah.
But outside of him, I mean, Reuben Foster and Solomon Thomas is on that 49ers defense. Navarro Bowman's on that 49ers defense. Brian Hoyer's a better option than either Jared Goff or Dan Orlovsky.
They got Carlos Hyde as their running back.
Carlos Hyde, you don't give me Gurley because I'll counter with Carlos Hyde. Just not far off from being just as good of a running back.
Pierre Gershon's there.
They've got another running back that Shanahan's going to use this year in that system, Hyde, and the rookie running back that they got from like late in the draft or whatever. Don't tell me the Rams are a better team. What about the Rams makes them a better team?
Jared Goff, dude.
Jared Goff showing improvement.
Oh, stop! Shut up! That was a joke.
Shut the fuck up!
Don't throw things
Don't
at
tell
people.
me to shut up.
Don't throw things. Throwing your phone at me.
Frank's fired
The
up.
fuck
dude.
is wrong with you? I'll
Frank's
tell you to shut the
fired.
fuck up if
Don't
I
tell
feel
me
like
to
it.
shut the fuck
If I
up.
feel like
Don't
it, I
tell me-
will.
Don't tell me to shut the
Look
fuck
how mad
up
he's getting.
on radio.
It's like Sean. I'll tell you whatever I feel like telling you. How about that? I'll tell you whatever I feel like telling you.
Frank's fired up.
What are you gonna do about it? I'll tell you whatever I feel like
I can
telling you.
fucking end the show right now if I
Well,
want to.
go ahead and do it then. I guess you could. Well, you could also tell me whatever you wanted to respond back with some insults of your own. Frank's like Sean. Wait,
I'm not in the fucking mood right now.
what's wrong with you all of a sudden? What's wrong with you all of a sudden?
Dang, Frank.
I know, Jesus Christ. Can't even have any fun on this goddamn show without that Frank acting like a fat girl. Stop being
You're a fucking jackass. You know what? The past couple years, you've been treating me like shit.
I treat you like shit,
Yeah,
Frank.
you do. You treat me like shit on some occasions. You do.
Frank, we're on the air making good radio. All of a sudden, you're getting bent out of shape and taking it way too seriously. How are you getting mad about somebody calling you? You're acting like an emotional girl right now. You just threw your phone at me.
Dang, Frank, you just threw an iPhone, bro. It costs like $600.
Yeah, it's on insurance. So.
It's on insurance, so it doesn't matter. Ralph was making a joke when he said Jared Goff. He wasn't being serious. That Goff stinks. Like, well, you think he's really going to take that big of a step forward? Where all of a sudden, like,
I mean, I haven't watched much of the Rams footage, but
I like their coach. I like McVay. I think McVay's building a good culture.
McVay has been building that offense. He's using that
building a good culture.
He's building a good culture. He's actually
Kevin
looking
Hart
at,
in there. You see Kevin Hart was there the other day?
Yeah.
Kevin Hart was trying to catch punts.
Kevin Hart's overrated.
As a football player, yeah. I would assume so. He's like 5'6",
Kevin Hart stole jokes.
but he's built like Darren
And he
Sproles.
still jokes.
If you say so. I don't even know how to respond to that.
No, because I win again.
I'm more interested in Frank saying I treat him like shit.
Intervention time?
No.
Yeah, we need to
Play
give Frank
the
an
music.
intervention.
Play
Frank
the
needs an
music.
intervention.
Let's not for right
Dude,
now.
he's got Frank. You got an arm, dude.
I know he's got serious issues.
Now he's got an arm, dude. That was fast. Did that hit you?
No, it missed me. Those emotional issues. Clearly, I mean, he threw a phone at me.
I think that's the.
We need to have like a therapy session, A2D therapy.
No, I'm good.
Come on, Frank.
He is such a bipolar person. He just threw it at me. 1 minute we were joking around, the next minute he tried to take my head off with a phone. Frank,
What?
what is wrong with you?
Nothing.
You still haven't answered the question. What about the Rams makes them better than the 49ers?
There's just I just like what Sean McVay has put into L.A. I mean,
Yeah, but Shanahan's done the same thing
Yeah.
culture-wise with San Fran.
right.
They've both done a good job culture-wise.
I just think that the Rams will finish better. I think McVay's got some. I mean, both McVay and Shanahan. But if I'm looking at it, I mean, they'll definitely split.
Who's got better players?
I mean, I know some of the 49ers players. I know they're. Some of them are past their prime. Some, not all. The quarterback situation's not the best. I know that the Niners may go after Kirk Cousins in the offseason.
Yeah,
So
I'm just talking about this year.
Yeah, but still, I'm not trusting Brian Hoyer or Matt Barkley. And
You trust Jared Goff and Dan Orlovsky more. Dan
I don't-
Orlovsky's going to be playing quarterback for the Rams by week 6.
I don't know.
That's scary.
Something's telling me that the Rams are going to finish better than San Fran.
Something's telling you. You've got an instinct.
I have an instinct.
I can't look at like both of those teams side by side and say the Rams finish better.
I mean, both teams have their issues, but I just think right now, if I'm looking at the NFC West, I do think that the Rams might finish with a better record.
Okay.
Whatever you say, Frank.
Yes, Frank is always right. Apparently now we
No.
can't tell Frank he's wrong, or
You
else
just
he'll
don't know
throw
how to
shit at
stop.
us.
You just
He'll
don't know
just
how to
throw shit
stop.
at us. We discussed the Eagles' playoff hopes. Then, if they get off to that fast start, Ralph, if they start 2-1 out the blocks with 2 division wins, that puts us in the driver's seat going forward with the division. I would think, right?
Yeah, 100%. Because now it all depends. See, now if Zeke gets suspended for those 6 games, then we'll see how the Cowboys do. I mean, I don't think the Giants are going to be a problem. I don't see the
Yeah, what about the
Redskins-
Giants all of a sudden makes them the best? People talk about their defense. They got Landon Collins.
They still
Landon
have
Collins.
Eli slinging the ball. He throws 44 interceptions every single
Right.
year.
And
How is
Ronald
he
Darby
good?
shut down Odell Beckham 2 years
He
ago.
did, yep.
The Bills played the Giants. Beckham had like 2
And
catches for 13 yards.
Odell is so dramatic, man.
I want somebody to slap him in the mouth. You seen that video with the high school team with the
Yeah.
cornerback slapping
Yeah.
the receiver? That's what you need to do to Odell.
Well, why
Line
do
up
you-
across from
Why
him.
do you think Josh Norman came into this division?
Punch him right in the mouth.
Why do you think Josh Norman came into this
That's
division?
exactly.
Come on, man.
Another person that Sean hates on. Josh Norman, a good cornerback that Sean talked like he was dog shit. Sean talked as if like Josh Norman was like a bottom like 20 corner in this league.
He's not a bottom 20 corner.
Sean was so disrespectful. Like he's like a top 10 corner in football. Like not the best corner in football, but he's the top 10 corner.
What if he came to the Eagles? Is he a top 20?
If Norman was on the
quarterback?
Eagles right now, I mean like dude, like our secondary would be one of the better secondaries in football. You'd have Norman, Darby, Russell Douglas, Mills, Sidney Jones.
Yeah.
That would give us one of
If
the
that
best
ever happened,
secondaries
I
in
don't think-
football.
If that ever happened, I don't think we would get Sidney Jones or Russell
People look too much
Douglas in the
like
draft.
people are going to look at Darby this year and be way too critical at times, like when he gets beat one-on-one. Corners, you know who has the advantage one-on-one? A wide receiver. Every single time, the wide receiver has the advantage one-on-one.
Yeah, it's a chess
That's the way that works.
match.
Like, Alshon will beat any corner in football one-on-one if you give him enough chances one-on-one, because that's the way that works. If you did it 10 times one-on-one, the receiver would win it 5 times, the corner wins it 5 times. Because that's the way it works. People that want corners, they're like, Sean, you said that about Josh Norman, how he gets beat too much? Oh, every time I watch him, he's burnt toast. Yeah, because A.J. Green ran by him and scored a touchdown against him. Because A.J. Green runs by everybody. Because, nobody covers him. Oh, every time I see him, he's burnt toast. Because he's covering the best receiver on the field one-on-one. Odell had like 4 catches for like 60-some yards in a game against him. And he's like, yeah, he's burnt toast in that game. I'd take Josh Norman on my football team
yeah, any day.
every day of the week.
I'll trade for Josh Norman right now.
Every day of the week.
I'll trade for
And then he
Norman
plays
right now.
head games, fucks with you, and plays mental games and shit with you.
What do you want? What would the Redskins give up for Josh Norman?
They want a first-round pick.
Yeah.
I'd
Clearly.
give him a first-round pick.
No, I'm not doing that at this point.
I would give a first-round pick for a proven player like Josh Norman any day of the week.
Yeah, I would, but at this point, I mean, we've improved our secondary enough where now I don't feel the need to go do anything like that.
Whatever, Zach. You never want to do anything that's good for the team.
I never want to do anything that's good for the Eagles, Ralph, really.
Like you want to throw a first-round pick to the Redskins for Josh Norman?
I would have last year. I'm not in this year now. We've
Whatever,
improved
dude.
our secondary too much.
All right. Well, you don't know if Sidney Jones can play on that Achilles, so
Oh,
you don't know
stop
that.
it. Yeah, we don't know that.
You don't know that. He comes back and tears it. Well, he could have had Josh
Uh-huh.
Norman last year.
Now,
never wanna do
look at
anything
you.
good for
Look
this
at you
team.
being a pessimist. Meanwhile, Le'Veon Bell has left the Steelers training facility to go take his physical. Once he passes, he can then sign and get ready for week 1. Well, now he's going to fail a drug test, so he won't. Watch what happens.
See,
He's got to go take his physical. He's going to fail a drug test.
and that's why you never, for the fantasy people who drafted, week 2 of the preseason, week 3 of the preseason. That's why you don't draft to the end of the preseason, because shit like that. He goes, takes a physical, he fails his drug test. That's 10 games right there. It's 10 games for Le'Veon.
Oh, there's
Straight up.
some news here out of the NBA that Isaiah Thomas might be out until February because of his hip.
D Rose for MVP.
Oh my God.
D Rose for MVP. Cavs are a freaking dumpster fire anyway. It's all right. LeBron's
The
coming
Cavs
to
are.
A dumpster fire.
I think he's going to New York if he goes anywhere.
LA. Yeah.
He'd rather play in New York than L.A.
And play with Porzingis or Melo
Play
or
with anybody.
or whoever's left.
Pretty much, yeah. He'd rather go to New York because think about it. Like the front office issue immediately becomes fixed because now LeBron's the GM. So Dolan doesn't matter how shitty of an owner he is. LeBron calls the shots now.
Goes to play with Melo.
And Porzingis and all that. He likes the Yankees. He's a Yankees fan. Even though he was at the Indians Cubs World Series like a fucking fraud. You see all that? Remember when he showed up in an Indians hat?
Yeah.
To the Indians game as if he's an Indians fan?
Well, all athletes are frauds when it comes to teams like that.
And he's a Cowboys fan.
Like if I ever
How do you go up in the Cleveland area and be a Cowboys fan?
like Mike Trout. Mike Trout is like the only like respectable person who actually like supports his hometown teams.
Yeah.
Like Mike Trout loves the Phillies. He's a season ticket holder for the Eagles. Not like freaking LeBron switching teams every month because they're doing good or doing bad.
LeBron switching teams every month.
Every month.
Every month.
Every month he's got a new team.
Is that what you're going to do on the new NBA 2K? You're just going to trade him each year? He's going to be on a different team?
Yeah.
I saw you all excited about 2K, right?
Yeah.
Can run the neighborhood and shit, apparently.
Yeah,
Is that the new mode?
Sick, dude.
You got the new Madden?
Yeah, dude.
You've been playing the glitchy Madden?
Madden.
It's glitchy as hell.
Yeah, that's what I heard. you get missed field goals converted to touchdowns.
Yeah, a missed field goal is a touchdown. The Russell Wilson injury, I saw that. You saw that play?
Yeah, when he flipped the dude.
Yeah, the dude got flipped up in the air and injured. Like, what the hell is this NFL Street all of a sudden? Remember that game?
Yeah, that's a great
with
game.
Exhibit?
Yeah, that's a great game.
NFL Street was
Frank,
awesome.
you play Xbox, Frank?
Yeah, I have a 360. I don't have the one. Yeah.
You got to get the one. We can link up.
I know, yeah.
It sucks because they stopped making college football games. I love the college football games.
I still play. I still play them.
Yeah, college football
NCAA
games
12.
Yeah, they're way better than Madden's. 100%.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Road to Glory,
Yeah.
so much better. The sliders.
You got an Xbox One, right?
No.
You gotta get one, dude.
I'm
We
not
could
getting
all
I'm
three
moving
of
to
us-
Florida in a month. The last thing on my mind right now is an Xbox One.
Dude, we could all get.
So that way
Xbox
people can
Ones.
break into my apartment and steal my shit.
You're in a bad neighborhood.
Well, I don't know if I'm in a bad neighborhood, but I mean, like,
It's a bad neighborhood.
It's a bad.
no, it's not.
Just
Eventually, we'll be like in a luxury apartment, this gated luxury apartment with this lake and shit. We get boats and all that.
still a bad neighborhood.
No, you got money.
Beware of the alligators.
No, it's not a bad
Don't
neighborhood
say
at all.
it,
It's,
Frank.
I-
Don't you say
it's
it, Frank.
super. Yeah, we
'Cause
can't
I
talk.
know where Frank was
we
going.
can't talk about alligators.
Yeah, don't
That'll
do
get
it.
us suspended
Yup.
yeah.
if we make alligator jokes again. Damn it,
I
Ralph.
pulled that trigger. Dude. Too soon.
I appreciate it.
I thought it was funny.
I
mean,
liked
you
it.
know, I didn't think it was in
I
bad
wasn't there
taste
for
at
it,
all.
but I liked it.
I mean, I'm not going to go to Nebraska and get mad when I get mauled by a wild boar and then try to claim that nobody in Nebraska warned me. Well, there was no signs up here. It's Nebraska. We have wild boars here.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
Wild boars and corn, so.
Sorry that you got mauled in the cornfield by a wild boar. That's your fault. Should have known better.
Not my problem.
Really isn't.
You want to go to break? Come back?
Yeah, we're getting a little bit crunched on time, so.
Well, we got the college football games, Alabama, Florida State. Got a lot of, you got Michigan and Florida.
Michigan, Florida.
And Michigan gets another goddamn break because half of Florida's team suspended by the goddamn coach.
Florida stinks anyway.
What? Florida's a sleeper this
You know
year,
what?
dude.
Let's save
I like
that
Jim
for
Let's save
McElwain.
Save it. We'll
Save
come
it.
back
I don't like
talk college
Florida.
football.
Save it.
This is my show now. We're going to come back. We're going to talk college football. We're going to end the show.
Attaboy.
It's the Rundown, A2DRadio.com, brought to you by Scanzano Sports Center on the campus of Kings Christian High School in Cherry Hill. Scanzano Sports Center, also brought to you by the Sports Outlet. Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Go to the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. This is the Rundown, A2DRadio.com. Zach Burr, Ralph Delavecchio, Frank Vespi. We promise when we come back there'll be no more phones getting thrown at anybody. It's the Rundown, A2DRadio.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard. A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
This is the rundown on A2DRadio.com. Frank, are you feeling better?
Better. Well, somewhat better, but
You got to apologize to us for
out
throwing a phone between us.
afterwards.
Threw a phone and almost hit me. If it would have hit me, it would have ricocheted off me and then hit Ralph. Then you would have been stuck doing the show by yourself.
Yeah, because I went to the hospital with a broken arm.
I would have been knocked out cold probably because you tried to throw it at my face. So it would have hit me in the face and
That
probably
thing was a missile.
knocked me out cold. Then it would have bounced off my face and like hit you in the neck.
Yeah.
Would have broke your windpipe or something.
It would have broke Jimmy again.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, I thought you threw Jimmy Rollins at me for a moment. I was like,
no.
I was like, oh, he threw it. He threw the bobblehead at me.
No, I'm not going to hurt Jimmy.
Ryan Howard hitting walk-offs.
Oh,
in
it's my
AAA?
girl. It's Ariel Winter.
Oh.
Yes, she is so gorgeous.
Okay.
Alabama or Florida State?
Sorry, her tits and her ass. Why are we talking about Alabama and Florida State when there's titties and ass? Frank, what are you more looking forward to?
For what?
Titties and ass or the Alabama-Florida State game?
Yes.
Which one?
Yeah, what kind of answer is that?
Like the little Mexican girl in the taco commercials. Why not both?
What gets you more excited, the titties and ass
At the
or
same time.
or the Alabama-Florida State game? I'm more excited about like the cheerleaders in that game than I am the actual game itself. I think Florida State's going to get train wrecked.
I mean, it's good.
Francois is overrated.
Francois,
whatever the hell his name is, he's overrated.
Farquhar.
Farquhar.
Farquad.
Farquhar.
Farquhar.
We had a Farquhar. A Farquhar.
Farquhar.
Dude, he is overrated, dude. He stinks.
Who?
Stinks.
Who? DeAndre Francois?
Yeah, he stinks.
Yeah, he's got.
Not that good.
I mean, he's not. I mean, he's only a sophomore.
He's not that good.
But
he's
that's my
not.
point.
He's not that great.
So they're going to go beat Alabama. He's a sophomore. They're going to go beat Alabama, who's Always the most talented
You know
team
what?
in college
you know
football.
what pissed me off last night?
What
is
pissed
that
you
I
off?
had hope that Indiana was going to win
Yeah, I know
last
you.
night.
You were stupid. You had
Indiana
There was no
was-
way.
You had
Listen,
hope that Jordan Lego. Jordan
that
Lego.
dude's got
Oh, yeah.
no arm.
Jordan
dude.
Lego.
Yeah.
That's another Mike Glennon. You see his neck, giraffe neck.
6'6". Yeah, he's like 230.
Yeah. Well, I had all the hope because I can't stand Ohio State.
Oh,
to
me
begin
too.
With.
Me too.
I hope Ohio State doesn't get into the playoffs this year. But besides that, I thought Indiana was gonna win that game. I mean, Ohio State had their moments; they kept it in. But I told all my buddies that was watching the game when I said, if Indiana can go into half with the lead, they have a shot because they get ball at half,
Yeah.
and hopefully they can go down the field and score a touchdown. And well, then saw what happened. Ohio State turned it up. Their defense turned it up.
See, you're too
Dude,
optimistic.
He threw the ball. He threw the ball. Indiana's quarterback threw the ball 51 times with like 12 minutes to go in the third quarter. 51 times.
I know.
to
He
go
was
in
like
the-
45 for
Jeez.
65 on the
Yeah.
game. He didn't look too bad. He had some
didn't.
good moments.
Yeah. I mean,
But his downfall was he was looking at that one wide receiver the whole entire game. I forget.
Cobbs,
Cobbs.
yeah.
Cobbs Jr.
Apparently,
Looking at him the whole entire game.
speaking of Florida State, they are currently investigating academic favoritism during the 2013 national championship season.
Jameis Winston's about to get his ring.
might have
What was
been
that? Jameis was
Jameis
ineligible.
Jameis.
Well, yeah, he was like a D student. I can't picture Jameis actually going to class. Like
Nah,
I can
hell
picture
no.
somebody going to class for him.
Yeah.
You know, but Jameis isn't going to class. Jameis is the dude that's in the middle of the student union standing on the table yelling fucker and the pussy.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to class. That guy's
Right.
not going to class. If anything, that guy's paying somebody to go to class for him.
Yeah.
Who else could have been ineligible? Kelvin Benjamin was on that team.
Yeah.
Was he?
On that national championship team in
Yeah, he
2013.
was.
He caught the game-winning touchdown.
John Franklin III. Remember him, Frank?
Let me look at this. Let me look
John,
at
you
this
know-
roster.
Frank, you know who John Franklin III is, right?
I've heard of him. Yeah.
Kid that went to that Eastern Mississippi Community College.
Oh yeah. The Last Chance too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great show, by the way. I just finished that up. Season 2. Just finished that up last night. Great show.
I haven't seen it yet. I heard it's good, but
Great show.
It was Kelvin Benjamin who caught the game-winning touchdown in that national championship game against Auburn.
We're not on that right now.
Auburn, wow.
So let's move along.
who else on that roster? I'm gonna look.
Your
at that
Ohio State hate
I hate him.
is
Hate 'em,
so,
dude.
so over the top.
Hate him.
I don't like him either.
I don't like him either.
Because I was a Penn State fan. That was my other team growing
And
up.
Penn State's overrated as shit. And the hype train's going to settle
Their
down
quarterback
this
stinks.
McSorley?
McSorley? Yeah,
year.
McSorley's
McSorley
terrible.
stinks.
McSorley is
Oh, wow.
terrible.
I'm looking at the roster for that 2013 team.
Barkley's legit, clearly, obviously. But
That's the only good player they have on offense.
McSorley is just, he's
Who
a
was it?
sorry
Who
excuse.
was it? Chris Godwin, right?
Chris Godwin, yeah.
Yeah, got drafted this year by Tampa Bay.
So
they
he was
don't
a
have a
fourth
good
round
wide
pick or
receiver
something, wasn't he?
Yeah. They don't have a wide receiver anymore. Yeah, they only have that one running
Yeah.
back. Penn State stinks, man. They're not even going to
I'm not sold with
kick
Penn
him back
State.
down in the basement with Rutgers. Get him shut the door.
No,
Rutgers. No,
keep
Penn
keep
State
Rutgers
stinks.
keep Rutgers in the basement, but have Penn State like.
Nah.
I mean, I like Penn State's chances, but that 3-game stretch with Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State, I think they're all within. I don't know the exact order.
Michigan wins the Big Ten this year.
I think
You want
it's
to say that again?
Michigan wins
Yeah,
the Big
okay.
Ten this year.
Get out of here.
Who wins
But-
the Big Ten? Not being a homer, since
Not
you already
being a-
said Michigan
With-
State wins
with-
9 games.
excluding Michigan State. Who wins the Big Ten?
Rutgers wins the Big Ten.
Rutgers out of nowhere.
Yeah. Rutgers will be lucky to win. 2
Minnesota,
games this year.
PJ Fleck.
I'm not sold on Minnesota.
They're not good yet, but
They're
PJ
not
Fleck's
good.
going to build a
He's
program
a
there.
good. He's a good
He's going
coach.
to build a good program there.
but I
Dude,
don't
it's
know.
so Ohio State is so easy to beat.
They can
They
be.
are
Michigan-
so easy to beat.
Michigan-
and it showed last night.
Listen, Jim Harbaugh is at Michigan, and after last year, you could tell the whole, the whole mission for Michigan is to
we'll
win
see
the Big
tomorrow.
Ten.
We'll see tomorrow when they play a decent team in Florida at 3:30 on
they're
Saturday.
gonna roll through Florida.
Yeah, get out of here, dude.
But they
wouldn't. They're only
here's the
rolling
whole-
through them is because Florida's team is half of the team is suspended.
that might be true, but they're still
That's
going to roll
stupid.
through
And yet
them.
again, the NCAA gave Michigan a break.
Michigan is like Rex Ryan.
outta here, dude.
Like Rex Ryan's coaching career was with the Jets. His whole principle of being head coach was beat the Patriots. If we can beat the Patriots, this season's a success. Remember they were in the playoffs with the Jets, and they beat the Patriots in the divisional round to go to the AFC Championship game. They might as well have won the fucking Super Bowl right fucking there. They beat the Patriots in the divisional round. I was like, oh man, this season's a success now. We beat the Patriots in the playoffs. The Michigan and Jim Harbaugh, the whole point of Michigan's season is to beat Ohio State and keep them from winning the Big Ten.
I'm telling you,
Michigan will beat Ohio State this year.
Dude, don't be surprised if Michigan State comes out of nowhere and gets.
Look at this homerish pick.
Dude,
Look at this homerish nonsense.
You're sleeping on us. You're sleeping on us. Go ahead and sleep on us, dude.
Well, with the sleeper, the one team many people are sleeping on is Wisconsin. I know many people are going to say that they're going to win the West, but
they have Minnesota in their conference, don't they?
Yeah, in their division, yeah.
Yeah.
So they have
How about Nebraska?
Nebraska.
Nebraska's over
Do they have a
there, too.
chance?
Do they still have that one quarterback, Nebraska, or did he?
Oh,
is he gone?
Armstrong?
Yeah.
He's gone.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then they have the new quarterback.
Yeah, but Mike Riley, he was looking for his own type of quarterback anyway. Armstrong was just the guy that was already there. So I mean, it's one of those things where.
Telling you, man, don't sleep on Michigan State this year. I'm telling you, we're a good football team. We're better than we were last year.
Michigan's going to win the Big Ten.
Okay.
Only because I refuse to believe Ohio State wins the Big Ten.
I mean, I don't like Ohio State, but once again, I'm just looking at.
It's so easy, man.
If
you watched the game last night,
they can be easy to beat, but they somehow, some way, Ohio State manages to win the games, and I got to see the second half of the Ohio State-Indiana game before it got way out of hand. They can be beat, but there's just some things about this team, especially a team that many people considered that should not have been in the college football playoff, especially with a young roster like that.
Well, Penn State should have never been in the college football playoffs either.
Yeah, but they
got waxed. They got waxed by Michigan straight up at the Big House. They got mangled by Michigan.
Yeah, but then they beat Ohio State.
Then they beat Ohio State.
If it wasn't for their special teams, they would have never beaten Ohio State.
Special teams is one of three.
Dude,
what did Chip used to say? Special teams is one of the three. Hey, your boy. You love Chip.
But don't
you
give
all
me
love
that
Chip.
bullshit
It's one of the three units of football.
That Penn State beat Ohio
Offense,
State.
defense, special teams. They
if-
did. Wait, hold on. Last time I checked, let me do some
Well,
research.
no shit, Penn State beat Ohio State.
I'm pretty sure they beat Ohio State, didn't
and they also lost to freaking Pittsburgh, too.
Well,
Yeah, they did.
They lost to Pittsburgh,
So did
too.
Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson did lose to Pitt.
Pittsburgh was a good football team. You didn't give them enough credit.
Pittsburgh really surprised a lot.
How many losses did Ohio State have last year? How many losses did Ohio
One?
State?
One.
And that was against Penn State, right?
Right.
Yeah.
How many losses did Penn State have last year?
Two.
Okay, thank you.
It's more that goes into it than that.
It doesn't matter.
They
dude.
won the Big Ten.
You got waxed by
Here's the
Michigan.
thing
Ohio
with the
State
playoff.
beat Michigan. Penn
Win
State
your
lost.
conference,
Penn
you
State
get a
lost to
spot.
Pittsburgh.
Right.
I think. By the way, I think Pittsburgh beat Penn State week 1. Week 1, they beat Pittsburgh. I mean,
Yeah, that's when
Pittsburgh beat
Penn State. And the part of the reason why Penn State.
Don't give me this bullshit that Penn State wasn't mature week 1.
No, the part of the reason Penn State made the playoff was because of their performance down the stretch. Their performance down the stretch is what helped Penn State go to the Rose Bowl and all that. Remember, Franklin was actually on the hot seat early in the year.
Oh, yeah.
Then he gave up play calling duties and stopped, calling plays on his side of the ball and gave.
Penn State stinks.
He let the offensive coordinator call offensive plays, his defensive coordinator call defensive plays, and he just worried about being the head coach of the program.
And don't be surprised if they get upset by Akron this year.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Would you stop it with Terry
They
Bowden
stink.
beating them?
They stink.
Akron stinks.
Penn State is terrible.
Akron.
Now you're being a hater.
I'm not.
He's such a Michigan State homer.
I am. I have to be. We're the best team in the Big Ten. We are.
Just wait till basketball.
Oh my
season.
God!
Oh well.
Yeah, you're excited
not
about your
saying it.
Western Kentucky basketball season, aren't you?
Yeah, Mitchell Robinson's finally back after committing, then decommitted, then committed again after his options were not available to him. He's back, and I'm excited to see the tops in the
don't
tourney.
don't sleep on them Spartans, man.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Michigan State.
We're back, dude.
They're in their process. They're in their process. Are they going to be the Big Ten champions? Not yet, but they're going to be back on the rise.
Give me an 8 to 9 win season.
Oh yeah, they'll win 8
I'll
or
get
9.
it.
They'll
I'll
win
take
8 or 9.
that.
Yeah.
And give me a bowl game to watch at the end of the year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me that. I'm good to go.
That's
Well,
not thing
yeah,
with
you're going to
Michigan
get a bowl
State.
game,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
But D'Antonio is going to leave that job at some point and go
Don't
take a
say
better
that.
gig,
Yeah.
No.
and then you're fucked.
Yeah, okay. Don't say that. You said something stupid like that.
You don't really. You're like so again. Nope.
No, when-
Don't even joke about the idea of Mark D'Antonio leaving.
I already told my buddies. Listen,
Don't even joke about
when
it.
Tom Izzo leaves Michigan State basketball, I'll cry.
You're
I'll
going to
break down in
cry.
tears.
I mean, with Michigan State, you guys had like 2 head coaches in the past 42 years.
Yeah.
Which I had no idea on how long Izzo has been there.
For basketball.
I had no
Izzo's
idea.
been there. Izzo's been there since 19.
I know he's been there since the 80s. I know with Izzo.
Izzo? I don't think Izzo's been there that long.
Or like
He
like
got
late
there
80s,
almost the
early
same
90s.
same amount of time as D'Antonio got there, when they both became head coaches.
90s?
for
Okay,
football and
95.
basketball.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Oh,
the
he was
first
the
year,
assistant
the
under,
first year Izzo was there.
D'Antonio became the head coach in what 05, 06?
No.
Heathcote. Yeah.
I don't think so. Because when
D'Antonio.
Izzo got there, Izzo made the tournament his first year, but then his second year didn't make it, and it's been 20-plus years since Izzo hasn't made the tournament. So whatever year, I forget what it was.
He got
after
there
that
in like
Izzo.
'95. Tom Izzo did, didn't he?
Yeah, he got there
Because
yeah.
we won the national
95.
we won the national championship in 2000.
Yeah, won the national title. Yeah.
Yep.
Mark D'Antonio's been at Michigan State for how long?
I think about the same time as Izzo, because they're great friends. I think they came in at the same time.
He's been the head coach since 07. D'Antonio.
Yeah, but D'Antonio was there
He
when
was
Nick
the
Saban
assistant.
was there.
Yeah, 95 to 2000, he was the defensive back coach
Yeah.
under Saban.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same amount of time as.
So that would make
Izzo.
that would be so Izzo was there in 95.
Wow.
And Izzo, his first year made the tournament. His second year didn't, and then from there on out, he made the tournament for 20-plus years, and it's still going on.
I didn't know D'Antonio was the defensive coordinator for Ohio State when the referees in college football handed them a national championship over Miami in 02. But, yeah, D'Antonio was the Ohio State defensive coordinator that year.
Huh.
Interesting. I watched that game the other day on YouTube. Miami, Ohio State for the national title.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's still sickening.
That was not a pass interference.
It's the only pass interference call ever where the ball has hit the player in the chest before the defender actually hit the player. Like the ball hit Ohio State's receiver in the chest before Miami's defender hit him in the back. And they still threw a flag for interference. Ridiculous.
Can't win them all. Ask some Detroit Lions fans.
38-1. Think about that going into that game. That national title game, Ken Dorsey was 38-1 in his career as the Miami starter.
Wow.
Should have been 39-1, but they get gypped out of that stupid fucking bullshit call.
38-2.
Should have been. He would have been 39-1 with 2 national championships.
Well, at least you didn't get blown out. At least you didn't get blown out by Alabama in the playoffs.
Think about what type of history
we did.
If you're 39-1 with 2
Right.
national titles as a starting quarterback, I mean, like Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, you're talking about college football legend.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
yeah.
dude would be in the College Football Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
Probably still should be.
Wait, is he?
He's not.
He's not. He needs to be in right now.
How's Western Kentucky football looking,
Well, we
Frank?
Well, we open up the season tomorrow against Eastern Kentucky.
Is it on any of the channels?
It ain't on TV.
It ain't on TV. They're gonna stream that shit for like $20. I ain't paying for that. I'm gonna listen on a radio for free. On my
They don't have it on the Watch app.
no, because they were trying to get a deal with ESPN3, but they're like, no, we were trying to go into the Conference USA TV deal,
Nah.
but that's not happening.
Look at Doug P. walking through the NBC 10 picture and covering his face.
Oh, my God.
I wonder why. First of all, he didn't want to be on NBC 10, I guess. I don't know.
Huh.
But, yeah, I mean, with WKU, we are favored to win again for a three-peat. And then our non-conference schedule, we're going to open up against
We got Bowling Green tomorrow.
Bowling Green.
Bowling Green.
Bowling Green out of Bowling Green, Ohio.
Yep, 12 o'clock on ESPNU.
And then next week we get to face Lovie Smith at Illinois.
Yeah, Frank hates Bowling Green University.
It's despite the similar names, we're not rivals with Bowling Green.
I'm just looking at some of Ralph's tweets from last night. Or yesterday at 3:46 in the afternoon. Penn State is a sorry-ass football team. Relax with the hype. I really don't see them do it. Then he commented and responded to himself. Oh, no, you were replying to somebody else apparently.
Oh.
But they deleted their tweet?
Let me see.
At KWC Trey 5 deleted his tweet,
Kentucky Wesleyan College.
Or is it just you can't see it because his tweets are protected?
Let me see.
It says you responded to at KWC Trey 5.
It's because he's protected.
What a pussy. Those are the biggest pussies on the face of the planet. If you're going to use Twitter and then, make your shit protected,
That's what I have.
you're a pussy.
Damn it, dude.
There's no reason for your account to be protected. I understand if you were a kid with it.
Right.
If you're 16, but or if you're a famous person. If I'm a famous person, like a celebrity, I might want my protected account. But for what reason is your account protected, Ralph?
I don't know.
You should want as many followers as possible. You know how you get as many followers as possible? Fucking make your shit as public as possible.
Now we play week 3. We play Notre Dame home.
You're getting spanked.
That's what they said last year, too.
Yeah, Notre Dame had a down year last year.
Shut your mouth.
They're bouncing back this year.
You give too many teams excuses, man. You really do.
When was the last time
That's
Notre
your-
Dame went
that's
5-7?
your
Notre Dame
downfall.
doesn't go 5-7.
Dude, that's your downfall, dude. You give too many teams excuses.
Because Notre Dame's only a perennial football powerhouse. Notre Dame is not going to go 5-7 for each of the next 5 years. They're going to bounce
Well, no
back and probably
shit.
win 9 games this year.
Yeah, and one of those 3 losses are going to come from us.
No.
Okay, Zach. Okay.
You want over? What do you want to sit here? You want me to suck Michigan State? You want me to suck the Spartan dick?
Dude.
As bad as you're sucking Spartan dick? I'm not going to suck it too. God damn it!
Well, Miami sucks anyway, so.
Well, Mike Rick has got him going in the right direction.
Who was your quarterback last year that just struck?
Brad Kaya, that
Brad
should have stayed
Kaya.
in school.
Should have stayed.
Should have stayed in school, kids.
He's with Detroit now, ain't he?
Stay in school, kids.
You don't see any playing time
He's not going to
since
get playing.
Matthew Stafford got that new contract.
Your comment is so stupid. If it wasn't for special teams, Penn State would have lost to Ohio State. And if it wasn't for special teams, Michigan State doesn't beat Michigan 2 years ago when the dumbass boy broke his hip diving into the end zone or whatever.
Jalen Watts Jackson, baby.
Yeah, whatever the hell his name is. Blocked the Michigan punt.
Hold on. It wasn't blocked. He fumbled it.
Well, whatever. Still special
That
teams.
ain't special teams.
That is special teams. I'm sorry. Did
get
Connor
outta here,
Cook?
dude.
Was it Connor Cook who picked up that football and ran into the end zone? That was your
Dude,
special teams
don't
unit
give me that. We
that
didn't-
fucking picked up the
Okay.
football and ran into the end
outta
zone
here,
for a
dude.
fluky win. No,
outta
you
here.
can't. No,
And that was
no,
a fluky
no,
win
because
by
now I'm
Penn
calling you
State
out on
too
your
last
bullshit.
year.
No, because now I'm calling you out on your bullshit. Because you want to talk about
Listen,
Penn
brother,
State.
you
No,
can't
no,
bullshit
no,
a
no, no,
bullshitter.
no, no, no. You're going to
You're
listen
stupid, dude.
because you want to call and say Penn State, it's a fluky win. Special teams play. They blocked a fucking field goal and returned it for a touchdown. That's more legit than a Michigan punter. He's like literally, it's like you're not even a position. You're not even a real football player. All right? Everybody on that team went and got some ass later that night except that kid because you're not a real football
You
player.
went in your dorm.
Exactly. And whacked one off to the cheerleaders. You're not even a real football player. He fumbled that fucking shit. And then you guys picked it up and ran it into the end zone.
For the win.
For the win.
At the big
That's more of a
house.
fluke than blocking a field goal. At least they blocked the field goal. They did something. It took skill.
Penn State still stinks.
Marty McSorley or whatever his name is, though, they stink.
Sorry.
Yeah, they stink. Or
Terrible
he
team.
stinks. They're going to hand the ball to Barkley 400 times. He's going to be the Heisman Trophy winner, and they're going to win the Big Ten. Believe it. This is the Rundown. A2DRadio.com. Ralph Delavecchio, Frank Vespi, Zach Burr. We had phones being thrown at us. Everything else. A lot of crazy shit in this show. What's up?
Sponsor.
I don't know. Who's the sponsor, Frank?
Isn't it BMW?
It
of
is
Atlantic
BMW
City?
of Atlantic City. Just keeping you on your toes. Just testing you. BMW of Atlantic City, Sports Outlet, Scanzano Sports Center, Soap Stash, Gibson Mayer LLC, everybody here at A2DRadio.com. We thank you for tuning in. Fun show, everybody.
Yes, it was.
Next week, same time, same day, same three knuckleheads. This is the Rundown, A2DRadio.com. Take care.
You're listening to the worldwide leader of real talk, A2DRadio.com.